Oh boy, baby.
Oh boy. Hi, Riddles.
Hi, Riddles. Yay.
Hi, Riddles. We're doing Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
Welcome back to the non-stop Ace Attorney.
Yeah, the great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. My throat is real bad.
So fun.
If you hear me coughing a lot, I'm sorry. If I'm hoarser than usual, I'm sorry. I have a big cup of water. I'm probably going to refill it at some point. We're going to do it.
Oh boy. I'm gonna resist the urge to take a million photos.
Alright, so what I did is I pulled our cards of all the guesses that we had of what was gonna happen in the last case. We didn't know that it was the last case, because actually I'll show you. I'll show you what fucked me up. So if we select adventure, we go all the way over here to the Hound of the Baskervilles, which is what I thought it was called. It's not called that, it's the Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. But it looked like there was another one after it. But the one after it is Episode 1, Adventure of the Great Departure, which is, you know, the first case. So, is it meant to be this sound? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? What does mean? What sound?
What sound?
What is the sound?
What is sound?
What is sound? But then we have Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which we've never actually seen the face. So I thought it was since we thought it wasn't the last case, we wrote down some guesses. It's kind of brassy over the music. Alright, let me see if I can fix that real quick, because sometimes the capture card likes to be fucky. Is that better? Now it's normal. Okay. Did it switch back, or is it still normal? But yeah. So since we wrote down some cards in the middle of the last case because we're like, oh, we should add this because it happened in this case, those were disqualified. So Van Zeke's adding evidence in the middle of the trial. It happened because we wrote it down then. So here are the things that definitely happened that we guessed. First and last case having a strong connection is kind of the case because the first case had to do with Wilson. Major subtext added for Herlock and Ryukun. They're obviously so gay for each other. Subtext indeed. We've got Van Zeke's backstory. That indeed happened. We have Herlock is hiding a secret. That did happen.
Still haven't found out.
Right. Van Zeke's is being sympathetic to Ryukun or the other way around. It did end up happening that way. He did end up being sympathetic. Ryukun and Van Zeke's fight to uncover the truth together. That did happen. And Ryukun actually gets to investigate the crime scene. That did happen. We actually investigated the crime scene. And then we have a separate pile for things that were like, sort of, or most likely, or as far as we know, or close enough. We hit close enough to the mark for it to count. Herlock is in on the bigger part, in on the bigger plot and is more serious than he appears. That one was a kinda. We have Van Zieks as a big softie. I mean, kinda. We don't know much more about him, but I think we could say that's a kinda. We have to return to Japan. Sort of. Susato did. Susato had to return to Japan. That was a thing. And then someone we know well is on the jury. We argued, I say. We debated a little bit on this one. In which the point of writing this card is like, Herlock was on the jury. Or Hosonaga was on the jury. Or like someone was on the jury that we knew super, super well. And so we decided that Garadeb counts, sort of.
Sort of.
Because he was in one of the cases. My sweetie is writing cards, sort of.
Actually, I'm writing a list of loose threads that they didn't actually tie up from the first game.
Oh,
so I'm trying to think of things.
Hosonaga coughing up blood?
Hosonaga blood, yeah. That did not get figured out at all.
I mean, and then the very last one, and perhaps the saddest one, of the maybes and kind ofs, or we don't knows, is Kazuma's actually dead.
Kazuma!
It might actually be the case. We don't actually know.
We don't know. It's definitely feeling like it, though.
It's starting...
like they made him to be...
It's starting to feel like... Yeah, it seems to me that they've made him the Mia.
He's the sacrifice so that Ryukun could become a great lawyer.
Yeah, he's the sacrificial lamb so that our man-pain boy...
He will always be beautiful and perfect and handsome in Ryokun's eyes.
Oh god, he will.
Age.
He will never age. And even when our Ryukun is 80 years old on his deathbed, he'll still remember his gay katana boyfriend who died in his 20s.
You know what's a mystery that we never solved? How does Ryukun wear that sword?
How does he wear that sword?
Where the fuck is his wear? How does he do it?
Where is the sheath attached to? We have no idea because Kazuma's model has a sheath. Ryukun's model does not. I say sheath, but like the thing that holds the sheath to the hip. Ryukun does not have that. He needs to get one because right now it's dangling from somewhere. So.
Okay, so here's some things I've got they're loose threads that they didn't tie up. Some of which like they have to. Others I don't know. Hound of the Baskervilles. What the fuck was that about?
Yeah, what is the Hound of the Baskervilles?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was Cosmo in the telegram? Who the hell is Aishin? Also, what's Van Ziek's backstory, which these could be related. Lady Brett, we ever gonna see her again? The Russian guy who was on the jury, I don't know that they're ever gonna bring her. I think that might have just been a gag.
Yeah, the Russian revolutionary.
This guy ran away, he's he's on a jury, so he can be the ballistics expert. So that's probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna cross that off. Hosonaga Blood.
I don't know, he was talking about the Crystal Tower, so it might still come up.
Oh wait, Crystal Tower. That's true.
The Crystal Tower is definitely a loose end that they have not tied up.
Crystal Tower is absolutely Hosonaga and the Blood. The third Skulkin brother.
Right.
And
they definitely brought up the Crystal Tower enough times that like too many times for it to be a throwaway.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
And Jay Wilson being Iris's daddy, like they obviously Iris is gonna find out something about him, but like what was he doing?
Also, she's only 10 years old. Who's her mother?
Yeah, didn't they say she died in childhood?
She died in childbirth. She died when Iris was born.
Iris' mother.
Like, who was Iris's mother?
Also, like, who the hell is Naruhodo Ryunosuke? Who is he?
Yeah.
Like, what's his fucking backstory? Is his backstory just that he had a best friendo?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's
like
his backstory?
Like, what do his parents know where he is?
Yeah, and I'm also like,
that's actually what I've been wondering from the beginning. Like, Ryunosuke Naruhodo is a young man in his like early to mid 20s. I can't remember which. Like early to mid 20s. He is very deeply involved with Kazuma. He supposedly probably has parents and a family in Japan.
Supposedly.
Like,
but he just went off. He Cosmo just put him in a trunk and took him with him.
Yeah, and he just readily agreed to be shoved into a trunk and and go to London with his best friend for months, like knowing he'd be gone for months. Like,
Whereas you can imagine that Cosmo's parents were like, "Oh, our son, he's going to go be a great lawyer and go study abroad, amazing."
And so, like, and the way that they presented is that it was probably like a spur of the moment decision on their part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of. Not really, but like kind of like, hey, you should go to London with me, wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, it's like, okay, but we're actually going to London together. And the kid's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So like, he knows he's going to be gone for months. Does his family know where he is?
Yeah.
Like, did he just like leave a note and be like, I'm going to be gone for a few months, bye? Like,
see ya.
Wait, like, do they know where
You're
this?
gonna be in a trunk now.
It is 5 a.m. Do you know where your Ryukun is? So like, I don't know, like,
Still in a trunk. Stop.
or did they just assume that he eloped?
Yeah,
like, you know.
Oh well, you know how he was with his Asogi-san.
Yeah, they probably went and eloped together somewhere. Anyway.
Oh my god. Oh god, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah,
I have too many hopes.
But also imagine like okay, so this is what I'm imagining with
Yes.
with our Ryukun's family. Like, we're 12 minutes into the stream and I'm still talking about theories. But like, this is what my heart headcanon of Ryukun's parents is that like he leaves a note and be like, I'm gonna be gone for a few months, bye. And then his parents are like, oh no, like that's really awful because our son is very dumb. But then they find out Asogi is going to London, and they're like, oh, he probably ran off with Asogi. That's fine. Like as long as the two of them have each other, like, you know,
Asogi will take care of him.
Asogi will protect him. Like Kazuma will protect him. And then like 2 months later, they get the news that fucking Kazuma has been brutally murdered. Not brutally, but like he was murdered on the way over, and he's like, oh no.
I'm like, uh-oh.
They're like, oh no.
Oh no.
He's too stupid to be on his own.
Yeah. You know, actually, I'm kind of thinking that maybe when Ryukun and Cosmo were together all the time, Ryukun was dumber because he could rely on Cosmo to be the smart one, you know?
Yeah,
so
like
now he's on his own and he has to stand his own 2
He didn't
feet,
have to rely on him.
and
on
he's
anyone
no
but
longer
himself.
as dumb because he's like, oh, I have to have the brain now.
Mhm,
Before
yeah.
he was like, here, have brain. You take care of both our
He's had to
brains.
had to pick up and shine some brain cells from off the floor and be like,
look at brain cell.
oh.
No, it's a spider.
Right. It's like, oh, that's a reference to a memory came up on Facebook. And usually when... Could you kind of top off my water, please?
Yes.
Because I filled it up and it's already halfway gone. So, usually when memories come up on Facebook, it's usually things that I totally suppressed that I had ever said ever, because they're usually from when I was 14, and I was really cringy when I was 14. But this one was from, like, I think it was like 5-6 years ago, and I vividly remember it still. And that's because it was spider warning. It was a memory in which you know, like when you get like mud stuck in like the sole of your shoe, like those little crevices in your shoe, and then like when you walk around the house in your shoes, like if you ever do, like they fall out and it's just kind of like this black like you know, there's this like muddy like dried mud like clump on the floor. I thought that I wasn't wearing my glasses, because when I'm not wearing my glasses, I cannot see anything. Like, I can see probably closest to my face is about the closest I can see to my face, where I can see something clearly, is about 4 inches from my face. Everything else past there is blurry and a mess. So like, I was walking around my room and I looked down and I saw like a black like something on the floor, and I couldn't identify it because like I'm, you know, blind. And I'm like, oh, I must have accidentally tracked mud into my room, which I, you know, usually don't do. I don't usually wear my shoes around, but like sometimes, you know, you forget. So I'm like, oh man, I must have tracked mud into my room. I'll just kind of like pick it up and throw it in the trash can. So I leaned down and I picked it up between my 2 fingers, and it fucking moved. It fucking wiggled. It was a spider. and I just picked it up with my...
It sat down beside her, except it sat in me.
Right, I just grabbed it with my fingers, and like, I am not like arachnophobic. I am not afraid of spiders. I don't necessarily, like, I'm pretty like generally neutral towards spiders. Like, I'm not gonna kill them. I'll generally like try to scoop them up and put them outside. Like, I don't love them, but I don't hate them either. I grew up, my room was very full of spiders when I was growing up. So I've always been kind of neutral and like let them chill around. But not very chill when you're expecting to pick up a piece of dirt and it's alive. It's a spider. So I did scream and I did throw the damn thing. And I don't know where it is to this day, but holy shit, not my favorite memory in the world. Mm-hmm. All right, anyway, let's play Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
Oh god. Oh god, oh god.
Oh boy, okay.
Oh god. Oh god.
New game.
So much is writing on this.
Cutscene? Probably? If we don't start with the cutscene, I'd be surprised.
That looks very like Japanese.
Oh no!
It's your dad, it's your dad!
Oh, standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital.
Oh, sorry, okay.
You know, he's flourishing into a truly wonderful man. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you.
Or is it
My
Cosmo?
life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
Oh my god!
Oh, this bitch!
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
Oh! This is actually one of my guesses.
Holy fuck!
This was actually one of my guesses.
It was!
Oh!
I ask for your guidance. Kazuma-sama.
Wow! God, fuck! Oh my god.
We thought that she was gonna be a bigger player.
Yeah, holy fuck. Holy
So,
fuck.
Riddles, you didn't watch the first case. The person who was shown dead there, that was our murderer in the first case of the first game. I thought she was going to have a bigger role. Hi, Space Kitty. You're having an existential crisis, baby.
Yep.
But honestly, this is kinda, I love this.
Well, I love that Susato's getting a lawyer. That's great. That's great.
She's so competent and I love her so much and I really, really, really want her to be in court. I actually did guess that we would be able to play as her, like, as a lawyer, but
I just don't know if I'm ever gonna be at peace with the stupid shit that happened to Kazuma. But in the context of the game, it made sense thematically.
It did.
But I'm mad.
But also, consider this. They could still erect a grave and him not be dead. They didn't have to bury him. They could just erect a memorial.
Also spirit mediums.
Because she's like, I'm asking something of you. I'm asking for your guidance.
Asking for your guidance.
Is he
spirit medium?
Spirit medium?
Spirit medium?
Please?
Spirit medium?
All right.
here I am again after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. She's gonna go up against Aoichi. No, actually, it seems like she's gonna go up with something else.
She'd have to go against Aoichi. I would think so. If it's
Okay.
not Aoichi, I would be kind of sad.
Yeah, no, it's a tradition.
It's a tradition. We're a minor now. Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
ship ourselves. Although,
Well, it's
I
9
don't know.
months. How old is
9
she?
months. She might be, although she was like 16. We don't have a court record yet,
Did
I can't
get
tell.
the Kazuma-sama? Did I
She
get it?
she might be like closer to 17 now.
Wow. Wow. Yes, I got it.
Okay.
I'm sad. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself.
Ooh, I get to rest my voice for a little while.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
actually, no, I don't.
Her dad survived!
Ah, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late.
Oh, yes. Good morning, sir.
Oh, he's alive. Thank good. Thank good. Thank goodness.
Thank good.
Although, is he a little more gaunt than the last time we saw him?
Possibly.
Maybe. I
Looks
don't
like
know.
it.
I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, Counsel.
Aw.
But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
Oh, dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous, I feel utterly nauseated. This is a good first case because, you know, it's a way to have someone be nervous at their first trial.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She could be such a good...
Oh, Susato.
She's gonna be a good lawyer. She's so competent. I am drinking a lot.
She's so good.
Like, I told you about my massive mug. Like, I drank half of it before, like, in the first 16 minutes of the stream. So, and that usually lasts me for over 2 hours, so.
I almost wish that I'd never have been that I'd never been born.
Wow, Susato.
That's like pretty damn, Susato.
Damn, Susato. Goodness, not the sort of thing a
Yeah.
father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say.
Yeah.
I was about to say something along those very same lines. Like, wow, way to say that to your dad.
Yeah, I know. Yujin Mikotaba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. You need to remember that that's your dad. Professor of medicine. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father. Okay.
That's a lady? Ooh,
Oh.
what a cutie.
That's gonna be you.
Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? Oh, I thought it would be
Oh, she's-
Susato defending
Aw.
herself.
Oh, is she defending a nice young lady?
Oh, what a cutie pie.
Aw. Oh, yes, that's right, miss.
Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, the whole thing.
They Membami. Eh? That's my greatest friend? What? Huh? Wait, what? Hold it. History a second? What? Would I correct it thinking that you're that Miss? What? I'm confused. She was just talking to her like a stranger.
Right,
But then
I
she's
think
her
maybe she's
greatest
trying to be
friend?
professional.
I guess. Yeah. Also, Membami is not Membami. I guess it's a name, but Membami. That's weird. Okay.
Maybe it's a play on words of some kind.
Membami, born the same year as I, and my greatest friend.
So also a minor.
Also, a best friendo.
Right. But also baby lesbians? Question mark?
Membami stuff.
Baby lesbians?
Baby lesbians.
Maybe?
She's got a best friendo.
Yeah.
We know what that means in Ace Attorney.
Right.
Though unusual for a woman our time. Ooh, she works at the University Research Laboratory helping my father.
Okay, so they're both very smart and capable.
We're getting more
These are-
Susato backstory than anyone else, you know?
Right?
And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. Accused of committing a truly awful murder.
I just want larceny once.
Yeah. Are you feeling all right?
Or like a divorce.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
A divorce case. Maybe some light shoplifting.
We did have, like, manslaughter-ish, you know?
Oh, we
Didn't
did have
actually die
manslaughter.
from it.
Yeah, we did have manslaughter.
Unintentional
Or,
murder. but
like-
didn't die. Attempted manslaughter?
That is technically a thing, but also like reckless endangerment, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure that would be a thing. Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Ahem. So Susato went home to see her girlfriend.
Right. Yeah, yes, oh, well. Oh, my, it's just that,
She's cute.
you look so gallant and dashing.
Yep, they're gay for each
Yeah,
other. Yep,
you're
this is a
so
thing.
beautiful.
This is a thing. Oh my god. What a beautiful girlfriend she has.
I should get you a girlfriend that looks at you like this.
Yeah, seriously. Sorry?
She
Picked
picked up the habit. And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful.
Oh my god, okay, so they're doing the exact same thing they did in the first game and just laying on the gay from the very, very beginning.
Wow!
With no question.
Don't die, Ray.
Oh, please
Don't
don't
die,
die.
Ray.
Please don't die. But I want you and Colin to be best friends.
In the afterlife.
Yeah. Don't die though! Goodness. I don't think she knows. What? She hasn't. What? Pig? What? What? Why?
Ooh,
She's looking at your face.
She's flirting, though.
She hasn't realized who I am.
Or maybe she thinks that it's a boy.
What? Eh?
I don't know.
What is it? Is Susato dressed as a boy?
Maybe.
What's going on?
Because
she's-
remember, women
she's
aren't
got a-
allowed in the
She's got a
courtroom.
tentacle. Oh my god, is she in drag? This is gonna be amazing. Okay. That's a good headcanon though. Oh boy.
It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work.
Yes!
Yeah, she's cross-dressing!
Oh my god, this is the fucking best. Okay, alright. I don't think we would have ever called that one.
What do you mean, Professor Mikadoba? That's why she said miss, because she's trying to...
Yep, makes sense now. Oh my god, this is amazing.
You gotta put on a boy voice then. Susato pretending to be a boy voice.
Pretending to be a boy. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Even your best friend can't see through the disguise. I think we can relax.
Nice.
Disguise?
Yes, I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father.
Father? What? Is that you, Susato?
I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Day. It's just that...
No! What are you doing? What's going on? What?
That's so
I
cute.
just revealed how bisexual I am,
Yes.
and also...
Oh no!
The varsity uniform, the varsity cape, the varsity cap, the varsity badge!
Oh my god, she's wearing a cape!
Uh-huh.
She's wearing a cape!
Look at you! You look for all the world like a student at the Imperial Yume University. A male student!
Amazing, amazing! This is amazing. I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start.
Wow!
Oh, Susato, are you binding?
Homosexual.
Are you binding, Susato? Like, how much shit are you doing here, Susato?
She's always been a little bit flat.
That's true, that's true.
But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see...
It was the only way. The only way she'd be permitted in the Supreme Court to take your defense in this trial. Yeah, because our other two best lawyers are dead and in London. So, you know, kind of sucks, right? My defense?
Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at being... Susato!
Trans Susato!
Oh
trans
my
Susato! Trans Susato! Trans Susato! Trans Susato! Trans Susato!
Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike.
But women are forbidden.
Just for today. I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door.
This game is unintentionally so gay and LGBT overall.
Yeah.
No joking. And this is
Oh my god.
this is even more so.
This is even gayer than we thought.
The thing is, this could even, like, because this one is more recent than the other Ace Attorneys, this one could even possibly be somewhat intentional subtext.
It could be.
But the original Ace Attorney series is like, I honestly just didn't think that they realized. I just don't think they realized that.
It's a very deep friendship.
It's a very, very deep friendship.
No, just
I would do anything for you.
Absolutely anything.
My friend.
My dearest friend.
My friend. My dearest friend. I would kiss you sweetly, my dearest friend. Anyway.
So that I can act as your lawyer.
Oh, Susato. You'd go to such lengths for me.
Of course, I'm totally gay for you.
Me too.
Of course. You're my greatest friend. You know who else is someone's greatest friend? Ryuken's boyfriend!
What if I called you partner?
Partner? I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh, Susato, don't even
worry about it. No,
You're
no.
the best judicial assistant in the
And
world.
you'll be the best lawyer in Japan right now.
It's like the lawyers taking up two gays holding hands and then say they were roomies. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
exactly it.
They
That's
were
exactly.
roomies.
That's the original Ace Attorney trilogy. They were rivals.
They were rivals.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you.
Nay,
It's so strange though.
I'm suddenly wildly attracted.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have all these heart palpitations right now.
Mhm.
I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason.
I like her.
I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing.
Oh, yay!
I love her.
Aw.
Don't make us love her and then get her killed.
Please do not kill her. Please do not kill her. Not allowed. Oh my god. Nay. Please don't look at me like that with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes.
I'm getting a little turned on, and I'm a minor, but you're also a minor, so maybe it's okay.
It's okay. We're the same age, so you know.
To be fair, her voice is easier on my voice than Ryuken's, because Ryuken's is a lower register, and when I hit the lower register, it's worse. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you really do look so dashing.
Oh god, so cute. So cute. Yes, you've mentioned that once or twice.
You're really, really handsome. I kind of just, I wanna do all sorts of things to you that I can't say in front of your father.
It's like I'm right in front of your dad right now. So,
You should be pleased. It means you do look convincing as a man.
I am pleased. I think it certainly helped to bolster my confidence today.
I mean, hey, if she is gay in court, they'd be like, oh, she has a crush on her lawyer.
Male
The
defense
lawyer
lawyer,
must
fine.
be a boy.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. It's cover story.
yeah.
Oh, Day. You're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly.
Susato, you do believe me, don't you?
Oh.
I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder.
Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. My mind is very clean right now. Squeaky clean, not at all dirty. I am not thinking dirty things whatsoever.
I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence as far as murder goes.
Oh yeah, the murder innocence. I'm having totally innocent thoughts right now, and I've only done innocent things my whole life.
Only innocent things.
Very innocent
They
and
tell-
not at all dirty, awful things. Anyway.
Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end. In this trial, whatever happens, I'll always be on your side.
Except for when I'm in London, and then you can get
then-
fucked.
Then I won't, but you know.
I'll come to London with you. You can take me in a box.
Oh, I've heard that that's a thing you can do.
Yeah, like a small trunk. I'm very flexible, and I can probably fit in.
Maybe if I did that, I would get the nice room this time.
I'd probably even fit in a tansu.
Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. Cosmo flashback? Cosmo flashback?
It means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant, counsel! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at watch.
I also love this already.
Seriously, it's amazing.
You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty.
Harsh, man.
Oh. Stand aside!
I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see her. I cannot wait to see Susato.
Well, Susato, you certainly surprised your father. It's not me. Anyway, going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and yet with no prior experience being a lawyer.
She got more experience than...
Probably anyone else in Japan at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone else in Japan that's alive doesn't have any more experience in the
Seriously.
court.
There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But Father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Nay doesn't know how it came to this.
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Okay, so I'm sure it's because it looks totally like, you know, Brett wrote her name in the sand, or like, it's clearly her who did it.
Or
'cause you're in the
it's just that it's
locker
kind of a diplomatic incident, because
could be
it's an English
diplomatic
woman.
induces. Yep, she killed an English woman, it's true.
She killed an English woman on, yeah. I didn't want to burden her with that.
And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of who the victim was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think your crush is a little more than your crush, my dude.
Coot.
I think your crush is into you, honestly. You hang out with your crush way too much for it to be just crush. Come on, my dude. We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student.
Oh, is he gonna be by her side in the court, maybe?
Yeah, he's gonna be her Kazuma.
Daddy.
Her Grossberg.
Yes.
Kind of.
Thank you, Father. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm Susato Mikotopa, a judicial assistant, and for today, a dashing gallant boy.
Right.
8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain.
And then that student of law fucking died.
But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. Wait. We're trying to forget. 8 months ago, she went. I just want to track the timer. 8 months ago, she left.
Right.
So 2 months later.
It's like
So
more like a
6
month and a
months
half.
ago.
More
Yeah,
like a
okay.
month and a half. So it's like
7.5 months ago, she arrived to London. There was like a 2-month time jump.
right. So that would be
5. But there was kind of some weeks in there. So 5 months ago.
So and then there was
And then
another month and a
2
half on the
months
way back on the...
and she came 2 months. Okay, so this makes up roughly. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
so
works
it's
out,
so
it
she
works
was
out.
so she landed in Japan 2 months ago.
Yeah. After the 2-month trip back.
Right. Okay.
But
So-
2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan.
So Ryukun has been alone in London for about 3.5 months. Oh, poor boy.
Poor boy. He's got Iris though.
Yeah, he's got Iris and Hurley.
How many times have I wished that he were here? I wonder.
Aww.
They're so cute. Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead.
I'm sure he wishes the same thing.
Go, you bet. He's like, oh my god, how do I do this without you, Susato-san?
Oh god, how have I ever done this without you, Susato-san?
Oh
Please
my
come
God,
back.
please,
I love you
help
so
me.
much.
Help
You are my
me.
favorite judicial assistant in the whole world.
Save
and now I have to
me.
do all this paperwork by myself.
I'm stuck with Herlock all on my own.
Iris has to help me.
Oh god.
Because Herlock is just, well, he's like a dog.
Van Zeeks keeps yeeting wine at me, and there's no one to bitch slap him down the way you do, Susato-san.
Right, it's just, it's a hellscape without you. Please come back.
Wish me luck. Naruhodo-san.
Google says she's 16 in this game still? Really? She's,
Well, it's very Francisco von Karma. So.
well,
She's pretending.
she's
to be
got to
20.
age up at some point. I'm gonna say she's probably closer to 17 though.
Oh boy. Okay, actually, before we go on, let me grab my phone battery now
Right?
so that my phone doesn't die.
Because you didn't charge your phone?
Actually, it's a pretty good battery. But...
I know. I'm waiting for it. The big reveal on how our Susato looks. It's gonna be, once I press this A button, that's how it's gonna be.
It's just that I have it, like, I can't quite get it out of my head, you know? Like, I gotta make sure I have my battery.
Right.
I wanted to just do it, so I've stopped thinking about it, because it's gonna be time to see Susato. I cannot fucking wait for that.
Get your camera ready.
Yep,
Get your camera ready, because again, next time I press
Yep.
the A button, it's gonna
Here we
do
go.
a wide shot of the
Here we
court.
go. Here we go.
I bet you so much. Yep, it's a wide shot. Ooh!
Oh, look at that cutie!
And it's ouchie, like I said.
Was I this judge?
You were this judge.
This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami.
You are also the prosecutor.
Woohoo! I'm everybody. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency.
He kept his hair down.
That's pretty funny.
Since, Kazuma, attacked him with the sword
Here
the
we go.
first time.
Here we go.
Oh!
Oh my
she
God.
makes for such a pretty boy.
Wow,
Look
she's
at her.
fucking cute. She's cute. She's adorable. And look at that. Oh, she's got the cape like Kazuma. And Ryukun, she's got the cape.
And the hat.
The hat.
Ryukun doesn't wear his hat a lot, but
No,
it's,
he doesn't.
He's so,
It's because Wagahai keeps knocking it off his head.
yeah, Wagahai's like, boop, boop, boop.
He's like sitting on the shiz. Defense counsel, are you ready?
Yes, Your
It's
Excellency,
Pops.
we are ready.
That's cute. No! Oh, she's doing the Naruhodo thing. Ready? That's adorable. Oh my
you
god.
were Susato pretending to be a boy, remember?
Right. I mean, yeah, she's like, ready. I mean, ready. Did you just speak in two voices, counsel?
Yes, no, this is you, sorry.
You could be the judge.
I'm not gonna be the judge.
You're Pops, though. Yes, counsel.
I'm Pops and probably the first witness.
Mm-hmm. According to your registration details, your name is...
Has a dick. Dickinson.
Robert Coxon.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, she named herself Ryukun. Ryutaro. Oh, that's so cute.
Ryutaro.
Naruhodo Ryutaro. Is that correct?
It's the brother of Ryunosuke
She's the
Naruhodo.
brother. She's the brother. She's in the family now.
What
She's
is it? What is the suffix taro?
Oh, Taro is a very common second half suffix in a name. It's very common in boy names, especially in older boy names. There's a lot of like Shintaro, Kotaro. It's very common.
Okay, so this is like Ryunosuke.
It's like them saying she's John Smith, you know?
Right.
It's like tack on something that...
Like Nosuke is a very like
Nosuke
boy.
is also a common boy thing. She's Taro. Yeah, and also Ryuichi is a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's called Ryutaro. Oh my god. They basically made her into him. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, to try to pretend to be Ryukun.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. She's just nervous. Oh, yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you in this little venture.
That's cute.
So I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind.
Ha. Well, Council? Yes, that's right. That's me. Yes, I am Ryutaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. She even did the
yeah,
she's
you are
totally acting like him.
You are overdoing it. It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it.
Are you proud of your son?
And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen. Naruhodo.
A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, well, would that perchance be?
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is,
His cousin.
That's right. Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called upon the capital for this trial.
Your backstory, Ryutaro-kun.
I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
Well, yes. Agreed.
Hey, we've established they're in Tokyo.
Yep. And any of them. What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy.
How dare you?
No! What are you doing? What are you doing, Dei-chan? Dame.
Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. I won't have you making fun of her.
Dei-chan?
Dei-chan.
Dei-chan. Her? Please be careful, Dei-chan. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. Oh.
It's the same county, right?
Oh yeah, this is, I think, is that the thing they had on the last time?
It was like, you said it was like crime last time?
Is that
or like guilt?
What you wearing right now? So it's like, what is that on there? It's Batsu. It's penalty. Punishment.
Ooh, so it's
punishment.
a different one.
Fan of punishment.
But
I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not. Ugh, I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Oh, sweetie. Like it or not, eyes want to flit.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute. Look at her face. Oh my god, she's so cute. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests.
Ugh. I'm gonna do another one. Yes, I'm gonna need a lot of water.
In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may very well affect the future of our empire. Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock, dear me. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense, to determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, he had a much more handsome assistant.
Mm-hmm.
The same judge tested him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. What was he studying?
He just had to say, I do.
What was he studying?
What were you studying? What were you studying, and how the fuck did you get into Yume University?
What were you studying? Were you an art student?
Were you an art student? Dear-kun, are we ever gonna find out anything about you?
What were you studying? What was your major?
Come on.
For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy.
So, Counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions?
Ask for consent first, that's great.
Oh, did she take off her robe?
Uh-huh, she sure
did.
did.
Aww.
Did she do it Van Zeke
Did she
style?
go Foosh.
Foosh.
I'm trying to see. Oh, look at her hair. Wow.
It's like in a bun in the back. I wish I
That's
could
cute.
show her around.
Oh, she's got the
I don't think she is
armband.
binding though. You can see a little bit of tit
Little
there.
tit.
Yeah,
She got the armband.
she is very slight though.
Mm-hmm.
She is very,
Okay.
very slight.
It's time to prove myself.
That armband is way too big for her though.
Yeah.
Like even way bigger than it is
Uh-huh.
for
I
you.
look forward to seeing it fall off her arm.
Right. Yeah!
Yes, yes, Your
She's
Excellency.
so cute.
But please do make them simple. Very well, to start with. You will state the name of the victim. Phew, they're just like, she's just gonna look like him. Which, like, it's cute, but I also would like to see her look like her.
I think maybe she's like trying to emulate him.
Emulating him to try to, like, because she's Noivus.
Yeah, she's Noivus, so she's trying to kind of get that, like...
She has a very pretty face when she does that, just like him.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
very pretty thinking face.
Yeah, I think she's so nervous that she's just trying to emulate him to, like, get his confidence.
That is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. Ah.
What's the matter?
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Your mind is going completely blank when your two brain cells don't collide.
Right? She's like, suddenly I'm losing brain cells. What's going on here?
Like it or not, minds are want to blank!
Yeah.
Aww.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position, and that, guys. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter under the circumstances.
Oh dear, this is a dismal failure.
Don't fret, you need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem.
Of course, the court record. Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record.
You know, which I haven't been able to access yet.
Nope.
You know, which I can't do yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, just use the R button to open the court record. Then you need to flip to the people section with R. And don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely.
Alright, check the court record with R. That's where the information I need will be.
Oh. Death is believed to be trauma.
The victim's lung, yikes.
Wow, knife blade. Damn!
She did.
Josiah Brett, female, British, 11th of August around 2 p.m.
So we got Brett's involved and Go Back to Japan, this one so far.
Right. Single deep stab
Whoa.
wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage.
What the fuck with this pupil shit?
Death would have occurred within minutes. Extreme pupil constriction was observed in victim's both eyes.
Okay, she didn't die of a stab wound.
No.
She died of poisoning that caused pupil constriction.
Or like something was shining in her eyes.
Yep.
Weird. Yeah, that's definitely something. Oh yeah, I have to check people. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Her
Eugene
dad's
Gatoba?
43.
43.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, I was gonna say it lines up. She's 16.
She's 16. My best friend, though.
She's 25.
Mhm.
What
Nobody
a bitch.
misses her.
Former exchange student. Fuck her. She was found guilty of the murder of visiting professor Dr. John H. Wilson and was apparently allowed to return back to Japan and continue studying.
Mm-hmm.
Takatsuchi Aochi, same guy,
Mm-hmm.
who appears to be struggling to accept the challenges afoot as a result of these two really new times in Japan, the Meiji era.
I like
Era.
it.
So he's still trying to catch up with the times.
I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case?
Takatsuchi Aochi.
Yeah, it's Allergy.
Aochi's haircut as a kid.
Mhm. It was my dad.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Aw.
What a good girl.
The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Josiah Brett.
Josiah Brett. A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure.
Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why, then, is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history?
Because she's a murderer. Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Josiah Brett. Behind the woman student persona was the face of...
Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria, that's funny.
A killer.
A killer.
She was a killer.
Yes!
Aww!
She gets a yes!
And she slams the table.
Oh,
Look at her slamming the table.
Oh, she's so cute.
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was Josiah Brett.
Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours. This is the judge, baby.
Oh, I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Numiko Toba.
This is what happens when you don't give us a fucking name.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine.
Also, we were fucking.
Yes, we were fucking. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university.
And brought him to his untimely death.
Naturally, a murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed it was. Which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. Oh, Duke! A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. Murder most foul. A second-year English language student! English language student!
He was studying English!
That explains everything! Remember at the beginning we were like, how the fuck are you speaking in English, boy?
Yeah.
Like, you have no brain cells? How are you so good at English? Because he was an English student.
He was studying English.
He was studying English. He wanted to go international with his Kazuma-sama.
Or maybe he thought his English language is obviously the future because
Yes.
All these people
English
who
is
are
the
showing
future
up at our
because all the
ports.
people are like, we're gonna blow you up if you don't give us your shit.
Yeah, they're like, just open the country.
Yes.
Stop having it be closed.
Ah,
Apparently, the guy who did that is extremely famous in Japan.
that's great.
They call him Perry-chan
Aw.
because his name was Perry. His last
Oh,
name was
that's-
Perry,
that's
so they call him
cute.
Perry-chan. He's apparently a huge meme.
That's adorable. Oh my god, he's a second-year English language student. He was just a sophomore.
Aww,
Oh my god, he was an English language. Look at this young boy. Look
Did you
at
take a
him.
picture of that?
I did, but now I want to take another.
Yeah, he was English
look
language.
at him.
This is canon. He was
This is
English
good. Now we
language.
finally fucking know what he was doing.
Yeah,
It makes so
we
much
were
sense.
just saying how much we wanted to know what his major was.
Because okay, Cosma and Susato knowing English, obviously. Of
Right, they're
course,
obviously genius.
They study all this shit. They know a ton.
Right,
And
they're so competent, but
Cosma's trying to go to London. Susato's dad is involved with this British guy, so it makes total sense with him. But Ryukun is like, why in the world are you speaking fluent English?
right,
It's because he
dedicated his time.
dedicated himself to English.
And the thing is, honestly, these little details of canon, these little tiny tidbits of canon, it gives them so much more depth in the way that, these are the kind of things I love about Ace Attorney, because they
Yes.
give you, these little tidbits. Phoenix Wright was an art student for a moment,
Yeah, it's great.
So it's that just, and the thing is, and then he pivots to law, and you're like,
How the fuck? Why?
why? But also, it just kind of gives them that little bit of humanity. That one throwaway line in the third case of Ace Attorney 1. I'm a big fan of your work.
Yes.
humanizes Edgeworth
So much.
because you're like, oh no, he really, really, really likes the Steel Samurai, a children's show.
Yes. This guy.
This guy.
Just imagine Van Zieks being like, I like.
Yeah. Wow. Teletubbies. I'm a
yes,
big fan of your work. But like, or more like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
Power Rangers.
oh yes, Power Rangers. I have all of the figures. Like that.
Yes.
That's the kind of humanization that you got from just that throwaway line of, Will Powers. I'm a big fan of your work. Like, you mean you were a big fan of the children's show that the children's superhero show? God.
Care Bear stare.
Yeah. Exactly. Which is why I'm like, I do want to know what he's studying. I do want to know his major.
And we finally found it out. This is so great.
Because it shows so much, like, he's obviously so dumb that the only reason that he can know English is because he's a dedicated study of English. It is the dedicated study of English because he's like, I don't know, I guess,
Now it makes so much more sense how he even got into Yume University, because he's really good at this one thing.
Right. Yeah, like he's like really good at one thing.
Good at English. He's really good at English. He's totally fluent. He goes to London, he doesn't have any problem at all.
Especially with their like slang and their accent, like
he's good.
Like he just kind of like
boy. He's smart at linguistics particularly, but he's
then he is finally like slowly becomes good at being a lawyer, kind of.
Yeah, it's like, lawyer stuff. But Kazuma's fluent in English, and he also is amazing in the law.
Right.
And Susato is fluent in English and Japanese Morse code, and is also amazing in the law.
Right, exactly. But like, again, you already know from the beginning, like just talking to these people, that they are really competent and super smart and like top students.
Yes.
And you know, like like that's not look at that face. That is not the face of a top student. That is the face of a student who looked at a gun and was like, huh, I wonder what that does.
Okay. What's next?
All right.
Let me see. Yes! I knew it! The valiant Kazuma. Oh. Is this little judge still?
Yeah, I think so.
With the help of his best friend and boyfriend and lover, I hear that they eloped.
Yes.
A student lawyer, the accused, conducted his own defense.
You're pretty good at language stuff, but really dumb for everything else.
Yes.
I am total opposite. I am pretty okay at most things, but absolutely trash at language.
But you studied German, though.
Yeah. I am very much like one of those, like, jack of all trades, master of none things. Like, I have a basic understanding of very many things. I learn extremely quickly the basics of most things. But...
She's lying. She's a great writer.
No, okay, yeah, no.
I've read her fanfics.
No, don't, no. I'm still in the middle of writing a Phoenix Maru.
It's so
fanfic,
good. It's so
and
good.
I have put it down like a year ago, and I haven't picked it back up. But I really want to finish it because it's actually pretty cool.
It's so good.
Did you know that saying goes way further? Yeah, I do know. Jack of all trades, master of none, but it's better than the master of one.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Kazuma. We got Kazuma back for a brief moment again.
And then this bitch.
And exposed the despicable crime committed by Zyle Brett, which I suppose everyone should have known the results of this secret trial that we held in secret because of diplomatic reasons.
Right,
but
yes, it was a secret trial, but
everyone
the thing
knew.
Is, I don't see any gallery. Like,
no.
because the last one had a gallery, but I don't see a gallery at all.
Go to the history. Go to the history, okay? Just like scroll the history a bit, all right? So
sorry, the wrong button. Why?
Okay, so it's like go back a bit, and so yeah, it's like you would know about. When he's like you would know about this shit. So why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Why would she know? Is a secret trial?
Well, the thing is that the trial was. It wasn't so much a secret trial, but like they did have to like try her in, like, I think she went to Shanghai for her like actual trial, so like I don't know. Anyway,
Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive what drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she said, "Fuck you." She gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion. Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play, which meant that she got off scot-free. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our own empire's laws. it was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead.
Mm-hmm.
Why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there.
Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week.
What?
What? She's been just here all this time?
For 8 straight months? For like 9 straight
Seriously?
months, just not being tried?
All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship.
But then she was killed.
And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed.
She kind of deserved it, though.
Yeah. Only the day before. Only the day before.
I kind of want the person who killed her to just actually be like, yeah, she deserved it.
Yeah, take that, bitch.
Right. And then us being like, yeah, okay.
I really like this cutie because she is actually acting like herself here.
Right.
Yeah, it's very adorable. She's surprised and she doesn't know how to hold it in. That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant. In other words, she has at least 2 brain cells.
Ouchie's voice is so accurate because we've lived through many ouchies. There are many ouchie descendants in the Ace Attorney series, and they're all wonderful, and they all sound like they're dying rats. Their objections are always awful.
Yes. Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Auchi.
T-posing to assert dominance.
As is your wish, Your Excellency.
Van Zeke's but only the annoying parts. Much less competent. Don't worry.
Yeah. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th August in broad daylight.
Aww,
Oh, this is a
those
cute
little
place.
boards.
On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
She was naked when she died.
She was naked. She was getting it on. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected for... built for bathers to rest or change their clothes.
She has a
Cause of
pen in
death
her hand. I hate this.
Was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. Please don't tell me you wrote anything anywhere, please. Just don't have written anything, please. An injury which proved fatal.
I remember her being a huge racist.
Yeah.
But, like, that was kind of a theme.
Yes. There were 2 persons alone in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett in her bathing attire, and the accused de Membami de. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when you consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
Okay, what's the murder weapon?
What's the motive?
What's the murder weapon? What's the motive? Can we see the bathing suits?
Yes, bathing suits, please. Was Dae-chan in a bathing suit?
Yeah, I'd like to see it at Dae-chan's bikini, please. Bikini selfies.
Well,
Were they splashing each other in the water?
Moving right along. That extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
You're imagining her in her bathing suit, aren't you?
Absolutely not. That's certainly true. The prosecution summary
It's full of holes.
was full of words that raised an awful lot of questions.
Like,
As a
what does she
lawyer-
look like in a bathing suit?
Yeah. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about the bathing, being alone together. I'd like to know the fucking motive, thank you.
I'd like to know the motive as well.
Motive, please.
Hello, I'd like to talk about the motive.
You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement. Is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I beg your pardon?
He's classist.
No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment. I can confirm that the defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Fascinating to hear. Now, another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting then?
Oh, it was probably Wilson.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago.
Yeah, so she kind of deserved it, but, I didn't do it.
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
That is not true. Yes, I thought he was an idiot. Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man.
Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishwoman who killed him. And did those feelings change when you saw her in a bathing suit?
Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done, a powerful hatred.
But you shouldn't say that on the stand, lady. Oh, no, Nei-chan, be careful of what you're saying. The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency.
The bitch did kind of deserve it, though. Well, it was clearly a trap all along.
How wicked of him to use Nei-chan's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that. I must find out more details, and something we can use to bolster our defense.
I mean, wouldn't the boyfriend of Wilson be much more emotive, like our dear Sir Mikotoba?
True, though.
True, though.
As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about... being alone together?
What do you mean they were alone together?
Membami-san.
Yes, what is it? Naruhodo-san.
I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryutaro Susato. That's really cute. Look at her. No, okay, she looks the most like Susato right now.
Yeah, she's
I kind of missed
so...
her actual face.
She's so cute.
Look at her, Susato, with her little like... that face, she's made that face so many times. She's like, Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her. Were you cheating on me? No, I'm just kidding. I don't care, we were open.
You were gone for
I know,
8 months.
it's alright. It's okay for you to be with others.
Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett for starters. Hosonaga!
Bring in Hosonaga!
Hosonaga, come back!
Hosonaga!
I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all.
How the fuck did that happen?
I was an escort.
Nei-chan, I would have loaned you money.
I'm sorry. It was just so hard when you were gone.
But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. Tell us more about that, being alone together in the bathing suits you were wearing. I mean, the truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. The lesbians... the reason is...
Aochi-san.
Hi?
You are a lawyer, right? Like a prosecutor?
Yes, I am.
You are aware of laws, right?
Yes, that is my job.
Yes,
I'm aware of the laws.
Did you know that, I am 16?
Quickly checks the court record.
So if you want to hear more about my bathing suit thing, maybe you should, fucking don't.
I retract my statement. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. And just to be clear, I'm only interested in the bathing suit of the victim, who was of age.
No, she was also 16.
Wait, what? Check the court record.
You stinker!
You got me there, little missy. Well, because as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. This was your one chance to cut a bitch, and you did. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Her hair's so cute.
Oh, so cute. Kindly refrain from conjecture, Council.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Take
right,
that.
Susato. The prosecution counsel seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that. He also has he also has stockings on underneath that. Underneath that, and he is showing the judge that.
Yes, Riddles. There's no jury in Japan. It's pretty great.
Yeah,
Just a judge.
It's great. No jury in Japan. You won't have to worry about that for the entirety of the original Ace Attorney series.
Alrighty.
But for now, at least, we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him go, Ju.
Oh dear, this is really terrifying. But Father's right. We need more information. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about the bathing spot. Hi. If I may, Prosecutor Aluchi. What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student?
Please don't call me that.
I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot. Did you know you were referring to a minor in a bathing spot?
Were they naked?
When I talk about bathing, I'm only referring to the one who is of age. But clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind.
Shut the fuck up, Ouchie.
Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skin. No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea? You got me there, Missy.
Well,
I mean, a yokel boy. For old time's sake, I believe, just one last dip. Maybe a skinny one? A skinny dip? Sorry? Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Perhaps this was, kind of like her last meal or something. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. Which, of course, given that this was a grave diplomatic matter, we said shores. Go right ahead.
Why the fuck not? And we're also going to leave her alone for some period of time for someone to be able to murder her.
Have at it. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply. The British Embassy called us up and they were like, yo, she just wants to dip in the ocean.
Yeah.
Just give her a dip.
They're just like, hey, if you let her give it a dip, if you let her take a dip in the ocean, we'll take pictures and send them to you.
and Japan was like, oh really? Pictures?
Pictures of a woman?
Pictures of a woman? We don't have women here.
We don't have women in Japan.
Everyone in the courtroom, we never get to see women. So we were like, cool. But on what grounds would we agree to such a request? Please don't say it was photos of her.
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers, and
I
they're
like
also
them.
extremely horny.
Telling it like it is, Mikotoba.
In matters of diplomacy, we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal.
Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. And, I mean, it's not that I got to see the photos or anything. Not yet.
Do we have a word for the last meal before being executed? We
I
call it the last meal.
The last meal. And actually, I feel like last meal has a connotation here in the States of that's only when you're about to be executed.
Yeah. Yeah, because, it's... capital punishment is very rare in the U.S. now.
Mm-hmm.
We just straight up don't really do it.
It's still in some states, but
yeah, I'm saying rare, like very few states allow it still. So, I don't even think ours is one of them.
No, not in Maryland.
I think at least I know
Texas.
I know Texas does.
Yeah.
But most of them are also just it's also mostly just lethal injection. We don't do anything.
Whoa. It's authorized in 27 states.
Really?
Holy fuck.
Wow.
Damn.
I think that but it's really
alright,
hard to get. Yeah.
Okay, so it's legal in 27 states, but only 21 have the ability to execute them. There are moratoriums in the other 6. Along with Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore, the United States is one of 4 advanced democracies and the only Western nation that applies the death penalty regularly.
Wow.
So we apply the death penalty, but like people do tend to sit on death row for a long time.
Yeah. So it's usually more like, I feel like we tend to hand out life in prison sentences more than execution sentences, though. Which is not better. It's more or less an execution at that point. Like you're just using them for prison labor. But what was I gonna say? German has the words for motherfucking everything. So, legitimately not surprised there. But
I was about to make up a word, but I'm not going to do it in front of someone who would actually call me on how bad I sound.
right. So the thing is with English is that we don't tend to have words for things. We tend to have phrases for things or like things with certain connotations. So if you say last meal, it's heavily the connotation is heavily that it's like this is your last meal before you're executed.
Yeah.
But like, I'm also thinking like, it's also possible that it's also very common in English that there is a word for it, but it's just not commonly known or it's very antiquated.
Like all of this shit like insouciant and prize.
Yeah, it's like...
We don't use those words, man.
Yeah, and like maybe some people do, but it's just fallen out of our lexicon.
They're just Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, my sweetie and I, we both have very, very, very wide vocabularies.
Yeah.
You know, compared to the average U.S. citizen, we have very wide vocabularies, and we still, like, struggled with you know, 1 out of every, 1,000 words in this game.
They dug up some old-ass words.
They really...
Life sentence is 15 or 25 years. Yeah, no, the U.S. is a punitive place. We do stack sentences and people can go to jail for a long time. However, if you are rich or a white-collar criminal, or if you've attempted to overthrow democracy, you're going to get a very short sentence. You know, maybe a couple of years. But if you are poor and you have like an ounce of marijuana, then you're going to go to prison for 25 years.
Right. Yeah, so a 25-year sentence is not a lifetime sentence here. It's a 25-year sentence.
Yeah.
A life sentence is you will be spending your life in prison. However, multiple life sentences are applied because... Let's say that you did something that warrants multiple life sentences.
Multiple crimes.
But then you appeal, like, I did murder and then I did also treason. And it's like, so you get 2 life sentences, let's say. But then you appeal, let's say the judge only gives you 1 life sentence. You appeal the treason. And then you are found not guilty. Then that life sentence has a chance of just being nullified, and then you don't get the life sentence for murder.
I have a good example.
You know,
Bernie Madoff, legendary Ponzi scheme man.
Yeah,
he pleaded guilty to 11 felonies, and he was sentenced to 150 years in prison.
Yeah, that's not a life sentence, though. It's only 150 years in prison. So if he goes back and he appeals those, he can get years taken off of his sentence. So he does not have...
Except he died.
Except he died. I mean, he did die. But let's say in theory that, like, he did appeal some of those 11 felonies that he won back, like, I don't know, 9. And it's like, well, now he only has 20 years in prison. I
have an interesting tidbit about Bernie Madoff, actually.
Yeah, I only know him vaguely because there was a reference in a Good Charlotte song, I'm pretty sure.
So
No, that was something else. Never mind.
Bernie Madoff ripped off a lot of people in the Jewish community, so I know kind of extra about him. But a specific thing from my work experience, Bernie affected all kinds of people who'd invested their money with him, and that included philanthropic foundations. And the philanthropic foundation that funded my old nonprofit's intern program lost all their money to Madoff. And that is why we went from paying our interns to not paying our interns.
Oh no!
Yeah. So thanks to Bernie Madoff, we stopped having actual pay for interns. We stopped having even stipends for interns. And I was so mad about that. I refused to hire interns unless we did it through a university program where they got course credit. So that's how I got around it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really fucked up. So thanks to Bernie, interns could not get their, I don't know, this is a while ago, the $10 an hour, right? They couldn't get their tiny little bit of paycheck.
Right.
Fuck Madoff. So many.
I have a lot of like little tiny fun facts about the U.S. law system, but I'm not going to go through them all here. But if they come up, like, I have some stuff about, like, jury things and fun little
We'll definitely be
tidbits
back
here
to
and
the
there.
jury.
We will be back to the jury. I will not tell all of them here, and I'll probably forget at some point. But maybe I'll tell little tidbits and fun facts about the U.S. judicial system, which is really complicated and super fucky. And it's super complicated because you have to get when you become a lawyer, you have to be licensed per state. You can't be a lawyer for the whole country. You have to be licensed per state because laws are so different state by state.
They're so different.
That like it's just.
Which also means that depending on what state you live in, when other people are talking about legal things, you might actually not be able to give an accurate answer, even if you're just regular residents of states. We don't necessarily know. There's so much difference in the laws here. Right.
So if we were talking about let's talk about like our mold situation. Like we had a really bad situation where we had to move out of our apartment because it was infected with black mold. If I were to talk to a lawyer in, let's say, Seattle. About our mold situation, they would be like, yeah, like go ahead and sue, because this is not legal and like you have protections and rights as residents, but it's not the same where we live.
Nope,
it's absolutely not the same.
No
we have a lot of things that protect the landlord.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that this is a very moldy state.
Yep.
And so
very moldy area.
A lot of landlords can buy a property without knowing that there is mold or without knowing that that mold can be growing, or like basically like it is legal for a landlord to allow someone to move into a house without telling become a tenant of their building without telling them there is mold active in the building. Like that's how bad it is. So like, but that's not legal other places.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that they're all just standing here while some people in court are going on about the U.S. judicial system.
Right.
Like, what's going on out there in the gallery? I thought we didn't have a gallery today.
You were exactly right, Riddles. That is why you sometimes have to specify that it is federal law.
Federal law is all different from state law.
Yes, because sometimes the thing is like most crimes don't go up to the federal level because usually most states have. Like, murder is illegal in all 50 states, but it's also illegal on a federal level, but it usually doesn't get to the federal level. So, like, unless you keep appealing and keep going further up the court system.
Yep.
Because
then federal law supersedes state law, but states can make laws that are like would be federally legal, and then they end up going to the courts to fight over it.
Right, because like usually you get tried in like your county court circuit, and then you go into district, and then you go to state, and then you go to federal. Like it's all it's so insane.
We should go on.
It really is.
We're never gonna. We've got 50 states we could talk about, and territories, and District of Columbia. So let's move on.
Yeah, like we could talk about Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Anyway.
In any case, it was decided. It was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong. Unfortunately, it was Hosanaga, so,
things went wrong.
But in fact, a murder took place.
And also, you didn't have him present, because it was a male detective, probably, because it was probably Hosanaga. Yeah, so he wasn't allowed in the changing room with the girls.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's actually in a bathing
This is
chamber.
so stupid.
It's dumb. I said don't look at me! It was that young student girl who did it, not I. No one has proved that yet.
I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
I live to provoke men.
I'm very provocative.
I believe we all have a clearer picture of the incident now.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Well, I mean, she did get capital punishment, so honestly, they just, sped up the process.
Yeah. You know, it's actually, it's hopeful that she's a victim in this case, because first of all, she dead, and we wanted her dead.
Right.
But second of all, hopefully this case will unveil why in the world she killed John Wilson, and then that will, build into the next stuff where
maybe
Iris is gonna
we'll get, a this versus that, and then we're gonna, meet a revolutionary on the side of us, you know, hopefully. Obviously, over that period, she and they would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
Seeing the murder of the mentor for whom she had such great respect, enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Rei for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Nei-chan. So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident.
I should actually specify that we are not lawyers and that
this is not legal advice.
This is not legal advice at all. We are absolutely not qualified lawyers, and that this is not legal advice.
Now, even though we played a lot of Ace Attorney, which does not make you a qualified lawyer at all.
I also watch a lot of law videos because I think law is really interesting,
and I read the legal advice subreddit.
Right, and I watch Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer, so he talks about law shit all the time. So I find law very fascinating. I would never be a lawyer. It sucks.
Oh, you know what?
Also, laws are stupid.
I literally work on legislative campaigns trying to pass laws. So
that's true.
I know shit about energy regulations and stuff. Anyway, a photographic print! What in the world is going on in this gallery?
Well, you know more about passing laws and legislation, not so much criminal law.
And criminal law. Nope, don't know criminal law. Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image. Okay, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, she has a robe on. We do have her dress in the background.
Suitcase.
We have her suitcase.
Wine. She got a wine.
Oh my god, her suitcase has all of her masks in it.
It does.
Hanging from the top. That's so funny.
It's on a little carpet.
We do have some wine. We have some feathers.
She has a pen in her hand, but she didn't try to write anything. Thank fucking God.
Ugh. Oh, she has her purse. You can see that mesh purse.
She has the stupid purse. She has the stupid purse.
She has the stupid purse. Maybe it's not wine. Maybe it's sparkling water like she had in the first one.
As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone could have hidden, not even in the purse.
There is some extremely dumb laws all over the world.
Oh God, yes. The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. Congratulations, you have an evidence.
There are also some very funny loopholes in certain laws that like allow certain things. Like, it's not actually on the books as something that's allowed, but it's like by using logic games you can come to the conclusion that you actually can do this. It is actually legal. Did you know you can go to prison for smoking marijuana for longer than
for killing someone in a DUI accident?
Oh, that's really fucking dumb.
I mean, actually, that's a lot of the U.S. You can go to prison for having some marijuana on you way longer than for committing major white collar crimes and like corporate crimes. They get punished for 2 to 3 years,
or you get fined, which is like
avoid it. Refusing to come to court when you've been subpoenaed. You could go to prison for like a few years.
Yeah.
Completely subverting our democracy. 8 years, maybe most. You got an ounce of marijuana, 15 years.
But that's becoming less and less because most states, marijuana is legal.
It's getting there.
It's getting
there. Photographic print as evidence.
At least medical.
Stab wound. Stabby stab. As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time.
DUIs tend to be taken fairly seriously though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
kill someone.
I was gonna say more often when there's a victim, because generally DUIs, like the way that you get caught in DUIs is that you like hit somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
If you didn't hit somebody, I think it's mostly you get fined like a shit ton for driving under the influence.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case.
You can also get your license taken away. Usually no jail time though.
Exclamation mark. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence. All right, this is random. This just came into my mind. I had something I was going to tell you about this
Why would you
yesterday,
have multiple witnesses if they were alone?
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. So he's going to call Hosonaga. All right, so another thing to add to our threads, that fucking Ace of Cards guy. Who the hell was that guy?
That weirdo! And like the dude with the bulbous nose?
Yeah. Where the hell were these people that whole trial case thing at the game. Where were they? All right. We have witnesses, including one who's bleeding from the nose. We're witnesses, but who? Who the fuck could have seen you in a...
We were alone though? You just said we were alone.
Was this an orgy? One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective.
Cable-ho! Hosanaga Cable-ho!
He's also highly incompetent, and we believe that he got Asogi killed.
Who peeked in the cabin because they are now on the hook for
Seriously.
for
Hosanaga.
multiple years of of watching
Mhm.
underage people.
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt. Well, it could be like I only saw her go in there and I was outside the hut. Yeah.
And then I heard noises.
I bet
kinda thing.
Hosanaga's gonna feel terrible about having
Oh,
to
poor Hosonaga.
Poor Hosonaga, you know, he's probably still fucked up over being responsible for Kazuma's death.
He was so lovable though.
I know, I love him, but he's responsible for Kazuma's death.
Right.
He was supposed to fucking guard him. He he had one job.
Mm-hmm.
One job. Not okay. Very well then, counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
Oh, I have to update my witness subscription.
Oh, wait, you wanted me to bring them forth? Oh, I just wanted to say
I
that I
have
had
to,
them.
to update Adobe Witness.
My it's run out. Oh, so hang on a second. My credit card's also expired. I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
I have my credit card already and everything.
I have finally resubscribed. Sorry? Oh yes, I haven't forgotten. That trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse. When that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me. That's actually great. He's so humiliated.
Right. And then Kazuma cut your hair for you.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah. Arg! Naruhodo Dunaska!
What? Yes? That's the first line that I have in the entire game, is what?
This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten. You've become conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Love it. Ugh. Your vengeance is on the Sogi, you know. It's not on Naruhodo. Oh my god. Kazuma! Kazuma! Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died! The start of your own mini-Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Counsel? Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the Aochi growth. You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown? Oh, Aochi. I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something. It's cancer.
I think maybe it's alive? I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly?
I said silence. Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you.
Maybe it's like a baby ferret or something.
You got any Asogis over there? Because I'm extra pissed at him. And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned.
Please shoot shit on my head.
It's actually a spider, but I'm pretending it's a hare. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand. Oh, we're gonna have both of them come to the stand at the same time again.
That's right. It looks like the stakes are high on both sides of this trial. Prosecution and defense each has much to lose.
Oh boy. A haircut is hardly comparable to Neitan's life. Also, Kazuma-sama's a badass.
Right. I will fucking shave it.
Oh
He's
my!
gonna do it!
Oh my god!
What?
He has a turtle on his head. Oh my fucking god! Oh.
That was way too much to take in with one glance.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Haha. Oh.
Natsume's there.
Natsume's
Hosonaga has a turtle.
You know, I was just thinking, because it's gonna be Hosonaga on the witness stand, probably I should have the other witness, and then it's Natsume-san.
Yeah.
Witnesses, state your name.
Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected.
I fucking love his outfit.
Yes, it's circle on his head.
Oh my god, he's fucking adorable.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, he's cute. And I am, well, the next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital, in fact. Yes. Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am a Cat, a sensational success by Soseki Natsume, and I've got my new boyfriend
He's
back
also
there.
less shaky.
Yeah, I've
Look
got
at
my
him.
shit together and I found a lover.
Mm-hmm. His satirical.
Waga hai wa neko de aru.
Yeah!
Oh my goodness! Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me. I needn't? It's only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence, but all of you please relax. Call me Soseki.
His carbon monoxide poisoning has worn off,
yes.
but he's still weird.
Yes! Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here? Also, does he know that we still have his cat?
Tread carefully, Susato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
This is pretty clever. Yes, of course, I know. Hi.
Also, Hosonaga knows who you are.
Hosonaga knows who you are. Hello? I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Or the detective who was supposed to be protecting my Kazuma-sama.
Mm-hmm.
Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. Way less carbon monoxide poisoning.
I feel like I'm like SpongeBob in that one episode. I'd be like, it's me! Hey, look, I'm in the video! Pointing to the turtle.
Oh, I wonder if it's an alive turtle.
I want it to be an alive
want it
turtle.
to be a turtle that's just turtling. Okay. And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe.
It really is something. Why do you have a
hard to
turtle?
believe that amazing outfit.
Why do you have a turtle tied to your head?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have something on my face? Oh, look at the turtle! I love him! If we ever get a full view of that turtle, I want to cut it out and put it as an emoji on my Discord.
Toy doll.
Did it nod?
It nodded.
I
It's a toy doll. Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Love her face. I love that face of hers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either.
Ah, I suppose it's this disguise, isn't it? I thought that appearing here in clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what the fuck were you doing here? Well, what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san? Ah, well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture on the beach on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less. At Yume University? After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the medical science department. The professor over there, in fact. With Professor Mikotoba? Look at that face.
Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. Yes,
Cute.
they wanted some story or other about 2 former students who'd study in Great Britain.
Wow. 2 former students who'd studied in Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone.
We know this about both of them. Mm-hmm.
They secretly spy, snap shots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy.
What's that? That ink is gonna have something to do with something.
Oh, he's got ink on his
I feel like-
Oh, boy. Huh.
It's gonna be the fucking photographer.
That right there, that is my favorite Susato face.
That's gonna be
That
yeah.
She's just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're very smart.
Yeah, that my call out right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is a little bit of
It's
blue
a-
ink on his hand.
Yep.
So that's my call out, is that the murderer was the photographer.
Mm-hmm. As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here, which also talks about government secrets. Read it at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies. Thank you very much. He practically threw that paper at me. The Soseki Natsume article.
I would like to look at it.
Anyway, following my interview with the professor...
No one cares.
Let's check it out. Whoa.
That's really cute!
There's another wall.
What's this, like, why is there like a... Why is
This
it...
is ripped in here.
It's not like...
Konkai no mama. What is it? No. Wait, done. Wait, but it's
Yeah, let's move on, and then you can...
Yeah, move fuck on.
The debate became quite spirited. Oh. They were debating something?
I don't know about that.
They had the kitty though. Look
They
at
had
the
a
look at
kitty.
the meow.
They had a meal. Meal. Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement.
She's pregnant.
With my cat. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. Why was she in the lecture hall?
As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody.
What the fuck?
She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course.
What? At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her. This is just messed up.
That detective I am at liberty to divulge was me, Chief Inspector Sotaro Hosanaga.
Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems. The fuck, man?
It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach.
You still coughing up blood.
But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so...
That was a good one. That was good.
I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my, Inspector, you... Well, you do have something on your face now. He has a turtle towel.
How unsightly. I do apologize.
Does that mean that you went to the beach too, Father?
No, I wore my Speedo. Yes, in fact, I wore my Speedo. It was quite entertaining. Fortunately, I had work to finish off. He's obsessed with me. He's got Queen G Turtle merch,
Yes, he
which
wants
is not
to.
available at the moment because
Hosanaga stands you.
I have 4 viewers right now. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that as my assistant, Renee was invited to take my place.
Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. But if only I had, I'd never have seen that awful sight, which you definitely didn't see. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret.
Yeah, yep,
He
this
did
guy's the killer.
He did it.
This guy's a killer.
Yeah, it's the ink and the pen.
It's the ink in the pen.
Very well, I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast. This is ridiculous. A beach holiday with this murderer who was allowed to continue to work in the research lab.
Fucking awful. Of course, Your Excellency.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret, I am.
Oh, his eyes still twitching.
Okay. Chunk chunk. Boom, 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 boom.
On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
I have never gotten out of it since. I had just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me.
I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. I bet if that was the reason... I'm sorry. I bet if it is the reason... The reporter... I bet... Okay, god damn it. I cannot read anything. I bet if it is the reporter. His reason is to write about Saseki in trial being the bravest to witness a murder.
I like that theory.
Or being like, he's like, I wanted a good story.
He wanted a good story, so he murdered her for the scoop.
Yeah.
If we already cracked this case, then goddamn it.
That would be fucking, yeah, if we cracked it from the beginning, that'd actually be kind of annoying.
Yes, that young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly. I'm also calling it that she was killed somewhere else. Dragged into the bathing tent.
Yeah. Like, we're reading this game too hard.
Mm-hmm.
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times.
Single wound.
Shut the fuck up. Single wound. Easy game.
Mm-hmm. We gotcha.
Easy game. Don't even need to press.
Indeed. It does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime. What? Now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well.
The murder weapon?
What phrase did I use again? Yes, that was it. Damning evidence. It's a pen.
It's a pen.
Huh, what have you there, counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it?
Does it have blue ink? Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength...
No.
The victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer.
I was afraid they're gonna like, oh, she wrote something down. What? Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more. Ah, goodness me. Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand.
They really couldn't get color photographs in Japan, huh?
No.
That's right, the fountain pen. Swans are fucking terrible. Swan deserved it. And if you'd kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency, I would love to, but it's not in the court record yet, so...
Ah. The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel. E.B. R.M. Membamire.
Yeah.
This is how they did it. Ah, there's always something with fucking writing.
Yeah, the fucking reporter is definitely...
Fuck. His name's gonna be R.M.
It's gonna be RM, or it's like the name of the company that he works for is RM,
Seriously,
or like
yeah,
RM.
It's RM Press. It's like, but like, it's Japan, so why the fuck? Why the fuck does she have? Why does she have her initials in English on this pen?
Right.
What's the explanation for that? The initials of the defendant. Ah, no.
And also, why in reverse order?
Yeah.
He's wearing flip-flops!
Oh my god. Oh, I missed it. This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence.
Oh, Hosonaga, you are so funny.
Fountain pen.
I just fucking love Hosonaga.
He's great.
I really, really, really want him to be our detective, even though our detective is very obviously Sholmes.
Oh, we'll come back, Hosonaga. So, have I omitted anything?
No.
How about
I can't examine it. What?
What about the murder?
Oh,
weapon?
we haven't been taught to examine the evidence yet. So
I would like to see the murder weapon, please.
I would like to see
30.
30. He was surreptitiously submerged in the sea. He was submerged? Hello?
Submerged?
He was submerged in the sea.
We're about to find out that he was literally in the ocean.
So he looks very handsome in this photo.
He does. Look at that.
So does Saseki. Look at him. He's very...
Hello. He looks kind of like Dolly.
Dolly, like the...
Like, Dolly.
Yeah, Salvador Dali. Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah. Oh, no, swans are evil because they will attack you. They will just straight up murder you. Like, they are not afraid of people, and they will massacre you if you get too close. Trust me, I grew up in Illinois, and Illinois has a very high swan population, and they very much will attack you. And they will bite. They bite a lot. No, swans are very evil. Very, very evil. Anyway.
So, decisive testimony and damning evidence. I've got decisive testimony. I've got damning evidence. I'm not very good at this. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel.
Riddles, I am sorry to report that almost all swans are evil. Just because a couple of swans are somewhat nice, all swans are the devil. I'm sorry.
ASAB?
ASAB. Yeah, ASAB. All swans are bastards. ABAB. All birds are bastards.
Oh. There's a lot of nice birds.
Fine.
What are you talking about?
AGAB. All geese are bastards.
Okay, yeah.
And the swans are just a really pretty goose. So
What is going on in this gallery?
AGAB, obviously.
I don't understand. The prosecutor Aochi of 9 months ago was a complete incompetent idiot.
So like there was a restaurant that I went to that was like, it was trying to be fancy, so it had like a pond, like the entrance to the restaurant was like a bridge over a pond, and the pond had swans in it. And the swans would literally just sit at the bridge and bite at the ankles of everybody who will walk over the bridge. Yeah, Google it, Riddles.
Wow.
Swans are extremely aggressive. They are very, very aggressive.
None of this man's poise.
It's possible that the swans that you know are just like used to being around people.
Counsel for the defense. You may begin your cross-examination now. Ooh, it's time to see Susato's shing shing.
I'm exaggerating when I call them murderers. They definitely can't kill a person unless there's very many of them.
Naruhodo-san! Somewhere in London. Yes!
Yes!
Naruhodo. Oh, that means... Oh, yes! Me! Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom? Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom. And if there were a Naruhodo in your courtroom, he wouldn't be single.
Cousin Ryutaru, please hold yourself together, please.
All right. I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies in the witness testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do.
No mind reading, Dad. That's where she got it from.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. It's in the family. It's genetic.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, look at that cute boy. Just go right for it.
Yeah, we're not even talking. Stab the victim multiple times.
No.
Fucking autopsy report, you dumb shit.
Ooh. She pointed. With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed. She's fierce. What's the meaning of that menacing pose, counsel? I'd like the witness to clarify something for me. Who? What? Where? When? How? Not you, Soseki-san. This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga.
Yep. I tell no untruths, song riddles. At me.
In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times.
Yes, that's right. As I said, when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon.
And yet, that cannot be.
What?
Get to the point, please, counsel. Yay! It's Susato's diary! Oh, and that's a very Susato face also.
Yeah.
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only. So take that. In other words, Inspector Hosonaga's testimony.
Hosonaga.
Hosonaga Keibuho. Is clearly flawed.
More screaming, I see. A little bit, yeah.
And so Seki-san. Me?
Oh, now he's shaky. Alright.
You claim to have seen Mamami-san in the throes of stabbing the victim. That's pretty problematic because she was a minor in a bathing tent.
Thank you, Riddles. I literally just drank, but I will do it again. You and I, same wavelength. And because of delay, I probably drank, like, probably at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally, yeah!
Yep. Yes, I did. Wildly, But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point. That there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding.
Oh, sorry. Yes, and?
It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there is no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred. True. Then what exactly is your contention, Counsel? Are you ever going to tell us?
Hi, Wolfie.
Hi. Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san saw, in fact, was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all.
Look at how she's so fucking smart.
She's so good. I love this. She's not fucking around. This is our Susato-san.
Thank you, T. I just drank because Riddles just gave me a drink, but I will drink a third time.
We gotta keep hydrated because our throats are shot.
That's true. That is very true.
We went like, what, 5.5 hours yesterday?
5.5 hours yesterday.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm still hungover emotionally and physically.
Right.
But the moment that the defendant, in fact, withdrew the blade from the victim's body. That can't be. All the flip flops.
I know that the
ones on Soseki-san are the Japanese what do you call it? Get that? Yeah, but Hosonaga wearing flip flops.
Hosonaga wearing flip flops. However, I know that those are like traditional like Japanese like sandals,
yeah.
But to me it just looks like they have wheels on the bottom. So it just looks like he's wearing flip flop skates, like roller skates.
Oh my god. That's what Victor would wear to the ocean. Beauty, look at me.
Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them with that objection and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
If you're trying to channel Kazuma-sama in that first half there, remember you're my dad.
Yep, there's the objection. We love to hear it.
What do you think the sound is? Well, this takes me back. Exclamation mark. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago.
And then he won.
A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempting to steal the show. But the show is mine.
You're right, there are certain similarities. Except the so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who has only half a head of hair.
Sick burn.
Ooh, we better get...
Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed.
Hope you have some ointment for these burns.
In any case, all of this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference. What? Why not? Engage your brain, young man! When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim.
But she took like a full minute, like a full couple of minutes to die though.
Yeah.
So it's like she wouldn't have already been on the ground.
Yeah, she took a minute to die.
But like whatever. If they're not gonna let me. No, this is not a man. This is Susato.
She's in drag. It's great.
Susato in drag.
all you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustachioed author is prone to moments of extravagance. Ah! Susato, you know that it's okay. Don't get so shaken.
Right.
I am in agreement with the prosecution.
It is worth noting that women that are not witnesses or the accused are not allowed in courts in Japan. That's why she's cross-dressed.
Yep. If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion. But if she was withdrawing the blade, then we are back to where we started. Sorry? Consider this, young yokel boy.
Yeah. It also makes me want a murder cone.
Mm-hmm. If the student girl is innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim, and with a demon's cold-blooded composure, too? The prosecution demands an explanation, and it had better be good. Why did Nei-chan pull out... Why did Membami-san, pull out the knife?
Ah, yes. Going for the jugular. The jugular is not in the back.
What does father mean by that?
Let the court hear your answer then, counsel.
The truth is, I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here, or we don't have a case. Order cone. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could.
Save her life, maybe?
I don't think hiding the knife or stab her again would be good choices.
I don't know
But
that
why? Saving her life.
Save her life definitely, like, it wouldn't help.
But like, the other two were not good for her at all. So save her life is really the only choice.
Yeah. Also, like they established in like the original trilogy that, like, if you pull out the knife, like, that's when you bleed more. Because
Yeah.
like the knife just kind of caps the wound a little bit, which is
Then you go, gush.
it is actually true. If you see someone who is stabbed or impaled on something,
Stab her.
the last thing that you want to do is actually remove the thing.
Yep, leave it in.
Leave it in until they get to the hospital, because if you take it out, they will probably just bleed to death.
Save her life. According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant.
Mm-hmm.
Good one, Susato.
That's correct. It's thought she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury. I thought I would have to point that out, but
Yep, no, got it.
but yeah,
Susato's
Susato's a smarty pie.
Indeed, giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
I don't actually think I want to know what the painful way is, Riddles.
I also took hold of this pen that says Taco Bell, and therefore Taco Bell killed me.
Right. But what about Pizza Hut?
The point is, being a medical research assistant, Membami-san was compelled to act when faced with the wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life.
You were impaled once. I hope to God it
Holy
wasn't serious.
Fuck,
Hello.
impaled?
You were impaled?
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel.
Indeed.
Oh no, Riddles. I'm glad you're okay.
Is it just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here?
Your Excellency, if I may.
Speak, witness.
I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion just put forward by the Yokel Defense Council, I mean.
Slipshod? An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopeful has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense.
They're about to establish that
Yeah,
that would
you
not
don't
have helped.
Pull out the blade.
Very well, Inspector, I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion.
Yes, sir, I will do so flawlessly.
Ugh. Hosonaga.
Forensic medicine primer. I like this.
Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife out of the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Maybe she just wasn't that smart, though.
You know, that would be a fair defense for Naruhodo Ryunosuke.
You see, this man only has one brain cell at the time of this trial.
If Kazuma actually had to defend him in that first case.
Right.
Well, Your Excellency.
The way that he thinks, it's just so uncomplicated.
Tweez.
Hosanaga's like whole shtick is that he has a cough and he bleeds from the mouth from time to time, and it's just no big deal. NBD, we just gonna hand wave that.
Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily?
Yes, think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. He was in the first and second case of the first game, so we know that he bleeds just for fun. Until the doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. Yes, he has fatal plot disease.
Oh, I see. Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm. Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge.
He has general coughing disease.
Yes. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows it. I've stabbed many people in my day. Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see. Or pulled a blade out of a wound, so...
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit. Aww.
That's cute. Father, is it true what they're telling me?
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. They would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Nechan have done it?
Because fuck that girl.
Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal for Miss Brett?
I don't know. Maybe she was gonna put it back in.
Yeah. Nechan never once mentioned anything about the knife to me.
She's like, if she found it lying on the ground, she's like, oh shit, she's bleeding. I better stick it back in.
Yep. Like,
that would have been fucking funny.
Funny.
That would have been super funny.
It seems almost impossible to believe, but could my friend actually have? No, Susato,
you can't think like
don't
that.
Let your faith get shaken.
Remember what Naruhodo said. Maybe Ryunosuke dies in this game.
Ha ha!
That would be terrible.
That'd be the worst.
Absolutely no way that's happening.
Yes.
Pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here. He is the main character. They're not going to kill off the main character.
Don't worry.
Or else it would be Susato-san, the Great Ace Attorney Susato-san Chronicles.
Yes.
Resolve.
Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established facts, then your friend's gonna die. She took a breath like her Naruhodo-san.
Yeah.
I understand.
Naruhodo.
Yes, Naruhodo, indeed. Well,
I know.
Naruhodo is more like, indeed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it would be funny.
Absolutely joking.
Believing in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard. Out of context.
Right.
She's a minor, Shink.
Let's just press everything, because that's what we like to do.
You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. I like that.
Do you want to
do? No, it's fine. Does that mean that if you use due care and attention, it would be all right?
I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out, really, but consent is key.
Yes.
The blade is like a stopper on the wound. Remove it and a serious hemorrhage can occur. In other words, a medic would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. Well, she's kind of a medic, though, isn't she?
Yeah. That's a point.
Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it.
Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation. You see, Counsel, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath. Back to the witness testimony, please.
Hold it!
In that case, there's an obvious explanation here.
Which is?
Clearly, the defendant, Membamide-san, does not possess an ounce of sense. Oh!
Ow!
Damn!
Ouch!
Oh, geez, you actually went there.
Big ouch.
Harsh.
He does kind of have abs. You are very right, Wolfie.
Oh, look at that face.
I always like that. He's had that face before.
It's a sweet face.
He has a very sweet face. What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba? I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense.
Like, even Cosmo didn't do that. Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer. I don't know, young people today. If that's friendship, I don't understand it. Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing. Oh dear, that recoiled on me rather badly.
Right. Being a best friend means definitely sharing rooms together when you shouldn't be. You would poke that face. Yeah, this is a cute face. He's got a cute face. That's life, I'm afraid, a lesson everyone must learn. Hopefully you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Membami-san would have certainly been aware of it. In other words...
Hold it!
But the defendant had suddenly encountered somebody who she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently.
I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman was a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally.
Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it?
Wow! Susato, you're also a woman!
Holy
Are you
damn.
being sexist to pretend like you're a boy?
God damn.
Oh dear. You have a lot to learn about women.
Oh my god, Hosonaga saying that.
Wow, you're being really sexist right now. I can't believe this.
God damn.
Only a small-minded man could have such a bigoted views.
Oh,
Hosonaga said women's rights.
Yes.
Hosonaga said women's rights. Yeah.
Feminist Hosonaga.
You said that at the same time, Riddles. I love it.
Yes, love
Hosonaga
it.
said no misogyny, says Riddles.
You know,
Same.
we need Hosonaga to come to London and say no racism too.
Right. We love a Hosonaga.
He's adorable and he's great. Oh dear. Perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much.
Aww.
I like that her male persona is an asshole.
Is a sexist,
Is
yeah.
a sexist asshole.
Well, I mean, she's experienced it more than most.
Of course.
Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? That should cover the medical side of the argument.
Hold it!
Whatever the motive, it just isn't in Membami-san's nature to do something so awful.
Why, do you know her or something? But she had both motive and opportunity. It's very hard to argue against.
But you don't know the defendant.
Do you?
And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law! Exclamation mark.
Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings.
Oh, because
Feelings are unnecessary.
With this pledging to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused.
I pity the fool.
So do I. Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please.
Yes, Miss Brett was in many ways a sworn enemy of Mambani-san. Get the sociopaths here. We don't have need no feelings.
Hold it!
Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Mambami-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant, despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him.
Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual. Dr. Wilson said women's rights. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Mambani-san's abilities.
Good for Dr. Wilson.
Good for him, yes. Clearly the defendant was in the man's debt, which only proves to serve my point, which only serves to prove my point. Honestly, both ways kind of work.
This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in this testimony anywhere. If Nei-chan knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it.
Susato, it's at times like these when we learn to live again. It's especially important to remember the fundamentals.
The fundamentals.
Like examining the evidence, right? So I can do it now? Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it?
Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it.
Rotate it! Ah!
I realize this is your first time playing the role of a lawyer in the courtroom, so if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help.
Examine the evidence in the court record. It's an idea, certainly. What should I do?
I know what to do. It's fine. I'm a smart, capable woman.
Come to think of it, I actually know how to do this. Oh. Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san were always rotating evidence together. They just rotated and rotated it. I need to examine things in greater detail with A.
By the look in your eyes, I see it's coming back to you.
It's all coming back to you?
Examine. I want to
Examine
see
your
it.
pen.
I want to see. Hello.
Look at her.
Ooh, she looks.
Hi.
Wow, yeah, she does
Hello.
look dashing.
God
Look at her.
Damn.
Holy shit.
She is hello.
Oh,
Hi.
that's some non-binary energy. Look at that.
Susato.
Holy damn.
Hi.
Hi.
Can
Hello.
we have more of this? Can she just like stay in this outfit forever?
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Hello. My name is Queen.
I want to see her in that outfit
Hi.
with Ryukun and Kazuma-sama.
Oh,
Oh, it'd be so cute,
like
the
a
three
little
of them
group
together.
photo.
And they could have Wagahai in a little hat. And then they could have Herlock next to them wearing his, stupid regular clothes, but he has the hat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Wow.
Ah.
Yeah. Mhm. So Riddles. So, yeah, the whole court agrees that Susato's disguise is unnecessary if it weren't for the law.
Yep.
But the thing is, it's really good though.
It's really good.
I'm really glad that they made her wear it.
She's very dashing.
I'm
really enjoying the discrimination that required her to
Yeah,
dress like this.
I'm not enjoying the discrimination, but I'm definitely enjoying the outcome.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Poo-poo. Ink time.
let me see the ink. It's blue. Is it blue? No.
Really? What's the lip term?
I can't actually see. It does look maybe black. I really can't examine the fucking ink. Are you serious? I'm just gonna let it go.
Probably examine the inkwell side. Maybe you can, inkwells. There's some sort of emblem here. Look.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's the New World Order.
That's gonna be important.
Yep. We're gonna see that at the Crystal Tower.
Maybe this is like a revolutionary.
Yeah. Look at the
Yes, well,
emblem.
the Susato looks stunning in this outfit. God, look at her.
She's so...
Look at her.
Ugh, she's
Look at that
Susato.
face. God
Ugh.
damn, Susato. Anyway.
But it isn't a Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind. But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't, in fact, belong to Rei.
This emblem's gonna come up in some weird ass
And
place.
RM, obviously.
The RM initials are very clearly engraved here.
The fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is also a very clear message. Clearly a message, too.
Maybe she just loved her pen.
If only we had fingerprinting.
To identify her killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case.
Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we? Yes. Boop, boop,
Is
boop.
it blue? Oh, it's empty.
Oh. This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes, you fill it by drawing ink up from a bottle through the nib.
Is something wrong, Father?
Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there, that's all.
It's not a pen. There's something else inside it.
Is it?
There's poison.
It's a bullet chamber.
There's poison in the pen, and she was stabbed with the pen, and the poison went into her, and then she was later stabbed with a knife.
Ooh.
It's pretty much empty.
It's insulin.
Yeah.
She died. She died of.
Yeah.
She died of diabetes.
Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose.
Suspicious. Suspicious.
I don't like her now handling this poisonous pen.
Yeah, it might. I think it could be poison. Yeah, let's see. We can't actually read the damn. Oh no, we can rotate it. Yeah, let's read it.
Raucous England returnees tell all. This is the interview with you and Soseki-san, is it, Father? Looks as though it was quite an exchange.
Yes, he became a little overanimated when he was just talking about it. When he was talking about his time in England, the photographer managed to capture the moment, and his hand karate chopped me in the neck.
I do hope you weren't hurt.
Fantastic. What's on the other side? Let's look at the other side.
Wow. This is the newspaper.
Newspaper.
This is the newspaper from Saltsan.
Right.
There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical. Yep.
Wow.
Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. It's the pen. I'm Susato. I'm smart and I figured this out already. From Yume's Medical Research. Father, isn't that your lab?
What?
Medical
let me see
Research. RM.
Yeah. Yeah. Research medical.
Uh-huh. Research Medical.
Right. What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen.
It's this morning paper that Soseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know?
As embarrassing as it is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information?
Come to think of it. There was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence. I put Rei in charge of the project.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Oh no.
That's not good. Rei-chan? She was managing it?
If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it.
We need to read this article very carefully.
Can we read it very carefully?
Are we allowed to read it
Are we
very
allowed to
carefully?
read it very
Nope,
carefully?
we cannot read it very carefully.
Can we? Wait, it's a new thing.
What do you mean it's a new thing?
It's a new thing in the evidence.
Oh, it is a new thing in the evidence. Following a lecture at Yume University by Inoseki Natsumi on the 11th of August, it came to light a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed in the university's... Why were you developing poison? University's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade. Ugh. Would prove fatal within minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. The university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with an acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
There we go.
Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin as apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. That's why.
I still like our theory that Cosmo was bit by a cobra.
Yeah.
And poisoned.
I mean, we're not gonna get anything out of this, but
Sigh.
we're not gonna get anything out of that either. Okay, cool beans. Go if we're gonna talk about, you just may find a clue.
I'll do it gay away.
Well, maybe because about the blade, because she's pulling it from the blade because she didn't want it, like, because she knew about the poison being stolen. Oh, I can save it in slot 2.
Save it in new slot. Yeah, I like that. Keep our old slot.
Yeah.
So we can see the end of the game one more time if we wanted to.
Yes, there's no good reason except...
Objection!
No, there is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound.
What?
Ha! The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a loser. A loser! Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified? It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume unit. Objection! The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case. But, Prosecutor Auchi, you will let the defendant speak. But a newspaper article. The court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry. We're attacking the press. It was a reporter. Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper... Really? Your Excellency. Yes, of course. Thank you. Lei-chan would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says...
Which part of the article was it?
Fatal within minutes. By a wound from a poison-laced blade. There you go. It's page 2.
Yeah.
We'll bring up page 3 later.
Deadly in tiny quantities.
The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes.
Are you suggesting?
If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison.
Can we have the murder weapon, please?
Liz?
Can we have the murder weapon, please?
Knife? It would explain why the defendant, Membami-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible.
This was actually the problem in the first case in the last game, is that they did not ever submit the murder weapon.
Yep. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body.
What?
Objection! This is complete and utter nonsense. Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny the possibility. Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document. Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold. Objection! Oh please, this is clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind.
Wow, you just called my argument a weasel fart.
Yep.
Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway. I get my facts from Facebook.
Mm-hmm. In that sense, it's fake news.
I do my own research.
Right. In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive.
Wait for medical assistance to arrive while she died.
But instead you claimed she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Her eyes.
Why did they suspect the stolen poison was involved?
She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
She's so cute!
She's so cootie.
If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds.
Oh, yeah. That's our girl!
Yep, getting fierce.
What?
You can't possibly.
From your expression, Counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence.
Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times. From my place at his side in the Old Bailey.
Oh, you belong at his side, Susato-san.
You should watch more Japanese Fox News. No, this is
Yeah.
more Japanese InfoWars.
Yeah.
Get your alternative facts.
In that case, Counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article?
The postmortem report, obviously.
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the postmortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim. Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please, do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death? Well,
Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
what are you doing, you yokel detective? In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. What? If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely,
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Aochi, I think you'll agree. This is very compelling evidence.
I'm scared Aochi's gonna resign after this and we won't see him in any later case.
We
Aochi,
probably won't see him in any later case.
we won't see him in any later case. She's probably gonna go back. Well, first of all, she's probably gonna go back
She
to.
can go back. She can go
England,
back
hopefully.
to England and be by Naruhodo-san's side.
Yeah, we need our judicial
We need our
assistant.
judicial assistant.
And also, Aochi, just like traditionally is like the first,
yeah.
like tutorial, quote unquote boss, and then you go on to the actual story prosecutor.
Yes.
So, people from the Aochi clan are basically just the people you trample on because they're idiots.
You, yokel student and yokel professor!
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
Although in the English versions of the Ace Attorney trilogy, the Aochi line is translated or localized into Pain.
Pain.
Starting with Prosecutor Winston Payne in the first Ace Attorney game.
No. Yujin Mikotoba.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the Defense Counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't know.
The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper. Well, I saw it on Facebook.
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father. Tuh. A pitiful situation for a university professor.
Yeah, the localization, because ouchie sounds like ouchie when you say, like what you say in pain. Yeah, that's basically the. I think that's kind of the point. I think that was also kind of the point when they did ouchie, maybe, because it does sound like. I mean, it's not what you say in pain in Japanese, but it's definitely sounds like something you say in pain in English, though.
Yeah, but so either his name was never actually Aochi, and
No, it was ouchie in Japanese.
for sure.
Yeah, it was for
Okay.
sure Japanese.
Well, then it's nothing to do with pain. The
Well-
localization is just riffing.
Well, I mean, it could.
Well, no, I mean like Aochi doesn't mean pain in any way.
Well, I mean, it sounds like something that you say when you're in pain in English.
Right, but why would they do that in a Japanese game?
Because they know that that's what you say when you're in pain in English. And also it could be, like, they could do the thing where they have a play on words, but it's in the, like, the kanji.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have just been, like, it could have been a double whammy thing. But it is aochi. Yeah. It's ite.
Actually, speaking
For
of,
ouch.
yeah, I say like itai, itetete. Itetete is like, it's like ow.
It's like ow, 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 ow.
And you also like ita is like oh ow.
Mhm.
I gotta get water. Speaking of itai, I'm desperate for water.
Okay, we go do a water break, yeah.
Water break.
So I don't think it's that outside of the realm of possibility that they would have made a play on ouchie. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong about that. But I don't think it's like totally outside. Or it could have just been like because what they that's pretty funny. It is so like a lot of Ace Attorney has pun names, which we were trying to look for kind of in like the first case, but then we kind of gave up on it because the pun names didn't really have a whole lot because they were mostly referring to like Sherlock Holmes characters and not really punny characters.
Mm-hmm.
But in the original Ace Attorney trilogies, there's a lot of pun names. And in Japan, what they usually would do was not. It would both be like the name sounds like something punny, or they did some funky shit with the
having
kanjis
double meaning.
to spelling their name. Yeah, like have a different reading that would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
You should have more control over your students rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded. Ooh. Is it daytime? Yeah.
Yeah. None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Daytime. Membami-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed the poison we were developing had been stolen that day. Sosaki definitely looks like he's trying to take it down, at the very least.
We've been trying all day.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So you knew?
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Sasaki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper.
Hold it. Why were they developing a poison?
It was commissioned by the military. It said in the
Oh,
article.
Jesus fucking Christ. I missed that.
Mm-hmm. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Also, that's fucking dark.
Yeah. Why didn't you let me know immediately? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had been somehow been taken. Baby, I just realized.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to bring the reporter in.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna have to yell at the reporter.
We're gonna have to go excuse me at the reporter.
Well, it's gonna be like, if we accuse the reporter, he'd be like, no, I have an alibi. I was taking this photo of these two, like at the time that the poison had been stolen. I'm reading this fucking game. I'm reading it.
Yep. And there she is with like blood on her kimono or whatever.
So I decided to try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was.
Oh. But plot chickens.
The thief? You don't mean?
Yes, of course. It was a dainty English woman. Oh, she's falsely accusing her of trying to steal the poison.
Oh. Mr. Child Brett.
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool in the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then she suddenly got to her feet before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor.
What? Exclamation mark?
That's when I saw the knife in her back.
What the fuck?
What?
What the holy fuck?
She must have been. She was stabbed. There's a fucking slit here. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
She sat right here and was stabbed in the back.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy
Fuck.
fuck. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints. I don't believe it.
In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison. Yeah, the poison has got to have something to do with the government secrets and all the stuff.
Oh yeah,
There's this
for
poison thread
sure.
through the whole thing.
For sure. Like it was probably commissioned by the government, and the government was gonna use it for dumb shit. And then like this revolutionary group that killed Miss Brett is gonna come into play. It's gonna be
be epic.
It's gonna be insane.
Like, we've now seen the first game. We can trust that this whole thing is gonna come to a really epic conclusion.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when they establish, like, okay, my sweetie and I are talking about we talk a lot about our experience from other games. When an Ace Attorney game sets up a plot line and has many threads that they, like, set up, they are very, very, very good at, especially if they set it up in one game and then it goes on to the next one, or one case and then it goes on to the next case. They're very good at making it more and more epic, and like, and epic in like a grand way of like, oh,
Yeah.
whoa, I didn't expect that, or like, oh, I did expect that, but it's still fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that they set all this up like way
Weaving
before.
it all together.
Yeah, and like getting those aha moments, like that's what Ace Attorney's all about. Because you're like, oh man, that thing that I remember that when he said the thing, and then like it's just like this big thing.
The whole Ace Attorney trilogy, like while
Right.
each game
has its own like thread. The whole thing kind of builds to the point where you're extremely rewarded for having playing the whole trilogy by the time you get to the end.
Right, which is why it just kills me that they never translated Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Absolutely kills me.
The best game after the first game of Ace Attorney Chronicles, because we now feel like Daegyakten Saiban has taken the lead.
Right, so yeah, number 1 is Daegyakten Saiban 1 from what we've already played. Second one is the Great Ace, or not the Great Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney Investigations 2.
Yes, that one's the best.
The third best one I would say is probably Trials and Tribulations. Just in my opinion.
I think so too.
Because they do something, they have that ongoing thread.
It's a really good thread.
It's a really, really good thread. Yeah. Oh, riddles. I did not drink. So great.
Twinky twink. I have to say, I really did actually like Dual Destinies. It had some messy stuff, but I found it. I found it moving.
They had a twist that definitely neither of us saw coming.
Yeah.
At all.
Which was amazing.
In any way, which was really hard to do in Ace Attorney because, like, man.
The level to which we lost our shit last night, we were losing our shit.
Like, double.
Yeah.
Double. Yeah. It was like, we were like,
what the fuck? What?
Yeah, so that one, although Dual Destinies is an unpopular game. But, anyway.
That's probably because it's kind of a weird game.
Yeah. So.
There's a lot going on in that game.
Unfortunately, Ace Attorney Investigations did not sell very well in the US.
Yeah.
But it was a really good. It was a pretty good game. It was a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it was an amazing game. It was a pretty good game. But then they used all the shit that they set up in Investigations 1, and they brought it to the Investigations 2 and made a really just phenomenal game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the Investigations 1 is just, it's like the Gyakuten Saiban. It's a two-part story.
Right.
So the first part is just leading up to the second part.
It'd be like watching only the Two Towers.
Yeah.
And like Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, and just only watching the Two Towers.
But just stay here.
And then being like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, because like you need to be, the first movie is basically watching the original trilogy.
Right.
Then you play Ace Attorney Investigations. Then you play Investigations 2.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna really appreciate Investigations 1 unless you know Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, and like if you know who he is, what he stands for, where he, like how far he's come.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning of the trilogy, like you wouldn't really, because like if you haven't played the original trilogy, you're like, wow, Miles Edgeworth is just kind of a dick. He's kind of insufferable, but like he's so much more lovable.
You have to learn who he is.
If you know who he is, and like and so his being a dick is just kind of endearing. You're like, oh, that's our Miles Edgeworth, kind of being an asshole to everyone.
He still is my favorite character of all of Ace Attorney.
Right.
He's my favorite.
I think that Kazuma and Ryukun are like on the same level for me, like right before Edgeworth, right below Edgeworth, maybe.
It's Miles Edgeworth, and then Kazuma, and
Ryukun and Susato. Susato's high up there. Man, we could make an Ace Attorney.
Yes.
Ace Attorney. Main character tier list.
Yes.
If we did an Ace Attorney character tier list, that would be way too long.
Too many characters.
Way too many. We're not including witnesses.
No.
We could include lawyers, assistants.
Yes.
Main side characters, detectives.
Yes.
And like that kind of stuff. Like no witnesses, no one case, one offs.
Later on, Queen and I are going
judges.
Some
we could add judges in.
Judges, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to do that big tier list.
Even as I said, my favorite character is Miles Edgeworth. I just felt, no, but it's Kazuma. I feel like I'm betraying Miles.
Which is why tier lists are better, because you get to rank them in like, this is an S tier character. Like this is a character that I love the best.
Okay.
And so you can put multiple characters on that tier.
Cool.
So we're doing tier lists, not ranking.
We're gonna do tier lists.
Right.
Speaking of tiers, Kazuma-sama.
I want to play all of them at some point. I'm sorry, I've been looking at my partner, not at chat.
Yeah.
All of them at some point. You gave me big excitement for all of Ace Attorney.
Yay! You will be rewarded, Riddles. You will be rewarded. Having seen this game, once you play the original trilogy, you'll be like, oh, now I see what DancingQueen were going on about.
Yeah, like now I can see the threads.
Now I know why they figured everything out in advance.
Right, exactly. Like because again, you just learn to think in the game's language.
So you'll be reverse rewarded for having seen this prequel.
Yeah, you could. The thing is, you've already kind of seen how the game logic kind of works.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna go into Ace Attorney with an advantage.
And you're actually you're getting to play the games in chronological order.
Right, exactly.
So
Chronological
you started
order.
in the
This
original.
started in the
This is the old
1800s,
one, and
the
this
late
is the
1800s.
ancestral game.
Exactly, and then you're gonna go right into I think it's like 2016. The game canonically takes place in 2016, but the game was made in 2001, which makes for some fucking hilarious.
Oh god, the old technology.
Fucking hilarious technology references, because they're like, it's a cordless phone. What's a cordless phone?
You have fun with that.
Right, it's a digital camera's like a new kind of camera. Also, there's a telephone booth, and people still use those for some reason. Anyway.
What is the gallery going on about?
Right. My mind started racing. I don't know what any of this technology is. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips whilst I'd been with her.
That sounded unintentionally erotic.
A little bit. Which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body.
On the blade of the knife in her back. And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes. If the amount had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. But damn, that blade went deep. That's what I hoped. Really,
God, Soseki-san. Just chill over there.
I'm sorry for staying silent all this time. Because you know that by pulling the blade out, you killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda. Which is kinda...
You kinda killed her, though.
But that was unintentional.
She was already dead, yeah.
It's like, but the thing is, would she be more killing her by pulling out the blade, attempting to save her life, and allowing her to hemorrhage, or would she be killing her more if she left the blade in and let her die? So, I think it would be either, depending on your view of things, and if she's a practicing medical professional, it would either be manslaughter or malpractice. Medical malpractice. I don't think that's actually it. She's not actually a practicing doctor, and she's not a patient, so I don't think that's actually a thing.
A long judicial silence.
Right. There are very few gays in this courtroom.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that could be overlooked.
Maybe a couple of lesbians. Hosanaga's obviously not straight, but, you know.
However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now. Objection! Objection! Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Membami-san, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
She already said that she doesn't know.
Well, you have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
The burden of proof is on you, the defense, because this is how shitty fucking Japanese courtrooms work for some reason.
Oh, I have evidence. And it is very much conclusive, and I'm hiding it like Van Zeek's.
God damn it.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
Oh, maybe he doesn't want to present it because there's something...
There's something not good.
Yeah.
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Aochi.
Is it the murder weapon? Can we have the murder weapon, please?
For perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student. What? I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this on yourself.
It's gonna be a photograph.
Same camera, because you see the little crack on the thing, because I noticed you... Okay, I already see it, because you see the little crack here? You see the little cracky thing?
Oh, yeah.
You see the little cracky thing? It's on this one, too. It's the same one. Oh.
It was the reporter.
Oh!
Can we just put him in jail?
I have the best eyeballs. We already know it's the reporter. Please just put him in jail, but it's gonna be another 4 hours before we do that.
Oh god, I can't deal with this. We already know. Oh god, of course.
Okay.
You know, Aochi, you really could have just presented this at the beginning.
You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, her eyes.
We're finally seeing her eyes.
Wow, she's very pretty.
Hello.
But You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I know.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. You know what this proves? There's the chairs right there below the slit in the thing where the thing was taken.
The photo's being taken through the slit.
The photo's being taken through the slit where, you know, the stabbing happened. And then she's trying to pull the blade out. And then he takes the picture. Oh my fucking god.
Good lord.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fuck. And all I had to do was see the ink on this guy's fucking hand. And I'm like,
You knew it all.
Incredible.
Not to mention, we figured out at least we figured out the poison stuff, and then it was immediately confirmed, so we didn't have to waste time on that.
Right, yeah.
I don't know who's
This is
talking.
probably ouchie.
Could a more damning thought exist? The cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable.
Also, you did get to see her in her bathing suit. It's just, you know, one of those full body bathing suits.
This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature.
Yeah, and what is he doing with the camera in front of the slit in the woman's changing cabin?
What
Exactly.
What the actual fuck, man?
For it shows the precise moment that Membami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
No, that's not true. No. Maybe I'm just like too advanced for this game right now because my brain is already playing 5D chess because we just finished the last game where we had to be doing 5D chess. So I'm just like I'm already like Super Saiyan, like just you know?
I don't believe it.
My brain was already in high gear.
Yeah.
Ah.
Order.
Order.
Counsel for the defense. Was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
Wow. What a bitch.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Right.
Yeah, you tell him, Susato-san.
I also miss order.
Order.
Careful now, Susato is starting to show her face here.
It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. No, I just have to say, I would really love it if actually she's, like, Susato's unmasked in the end after she's won the trial. And it's like, you know, she won the trial, it's over, but then they all find out she's a woman, so take that.
Right, and then it's like, oh, well, we can't convict because she's a woman.
No, I mean, like, after she wins.
Oh.
And then they find out she's a woman, and then it's like, oh, women's rights now.
Yeah.
Because
That's what put women's rights in Japan is that Susato-san.
The court will
Girl
accept
boss.
this extremely gruesome photograph print as evidence.
God, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say they do also like kind of softball you for the first case though. So maybe it's just
true.
that
they do. They build it up over time. So the first case is really easy. By the time you get to the last case, you're like, what the fuck? We could never predicted this shit.
Right, but like the first case in the last game was actually was a little bit protracted.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it
this
was
one,
unusually long.
It was pretty long and protracted. But this one is like, I'm definitely, like, I've definitely solved the whole thing. Like, it's easy.
I can't believe he's had a photograph up his sleeve the whole time, and I had a cat flap-a-mat.
Right, up my sleeve, like my physical sleeve.
It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
Man, this uniform's so tight. I wonder how Naruhodo-san like keeps anything in it.
Especially knowing his genetics.
Right. Oh. He's like I don't keep anything in things. I go in things.
I'm the one in things. I'm in the box.
Right. Just remember what the music reminds you of. What does it remind you of? Oh, wait a minute. I don't understand. How did you? I mean, who took that photograph?
And does it make you laugh? Nate-chan,
That's really perverted.
you have a great point, Nate-chan.
Who's gonna be a millionaire? Oh, who wants to be a millionaire is what you mean.
Yeah, we got
It's
that too.
like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to phone a friend.
Yeah, it's who wants to be a millionaire. That was I think it actually originated in the States, didn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was Regis Philbin.
Because we're the ones who want to be millionaires. Oh, God.
Right, exactly.
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention.
Oh,
Objection!
an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important.
But then again, I could think that things, you know, originated in the States
Yeah.
because I've only seen it there, so.
Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. I appreciate that Susato is a smarty pie, and we didn't have to fumble around to prove this very obvious point.
Yeah.
With Naruhodo-san, in the first case, he would not have figured this out. By the fifth case, it would have been like, who took that photo?
I like that they're softballing us both by giving us a very obvious case and also a very competent lawyer.
Yes. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony. This is how we're gonna get the reporter on the stand.
That's what I thought with the German version. Yeah, it tends to be a lot that, and I'm not saying this like as like disparaging other countries or anything like that, but it tends to be a lot that a lot of game shows originate from the U.S. and then a lot of like European countries specifically just kind of rip on them, because they get really popular. But
the exception of Ninja Warrior.
yeah, with the exception of a few, but you know,
I will uphold the defense's demand.
it does tend to happen that way. Although Japan has shit tons of game shows that we just never.
Japan has like,
We're like, oh, that's
well,
okay.
Japan likes to do Batsu games, which actually Batsu is the thing on it's the thing on Aoichi's fan. They like to do Batsu games, which is like really stupid punishment games. They're really dumb. I don't even know how to explain them. They're things like, I don't know, like how many things can you be hit with before you say no more things? They're just like they're so dumb. I absolutely hate them. I do not recommend watching them at all. I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once. Oh dear. Well, that would just be, you know, the actual killer. But still, that's why I'm afraid I can't do that. Pardon? You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday. Yeah, it's a paparazzi. But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown. Goodness. Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origin?
Yeah, this would not be legal,
Yeah.
like in a court of law.
You nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court.
Wow, Susato.
Susato, my
Get
God.
him, bitch!
Fucking love you.
Fucking go at him like a pack of wild dogs.
Oh, so good.
When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence, you yokel student and blabbering professor. What matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
It does matter, actually, yes. The blatant truth is that someone was taking a picture through the slit in a women's dressing room that obviously has a crack in the fucking camera. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound.
Yeah, that photograph says many things, and all of them scream that she didn't do it.
Clearly, this isn't the moment that the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but the moment it was withdrawn? Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings. Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court.
Shut the fuck up. No, it's not.
If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh no. Just present the newspaper photo.
Susato, this is a time for you to fight. Punch that bitch in the face. Go kick him in the balls. Susato takedown. You know, I've seen it before. You go do it.
You got it, Pops.
Yeah. Throw him over the bench. Give him the old one, too. Give him the chair!
I'm really glad her dad survived.
Yeah, I'm so glad that he survived, too. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow. Ha. You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue
What about the Shikansen?
That's not around yet.
Oh.
To rue the day you came up against Taketsuchi Aochi in a court of law.
if I can't determine who took this photograph, then I'll never get to laugh. The trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be a way of working out who took it. Present the newspaper.
Good thing I already knew.
Well, counsel. This is pretty good because, like, this is obvious, but not horribly obvious.
Yeah, it's like you'd have to, like, you do have to
look at it a little bit.
You have to be paying attention at the very least.
Your Excellency, the burning question is, who took that photograph? And the truth is, I have the answer.
Yeah, the fact is, like, they wouldn't put that little, like, what I referred to as scratchies.
Yeah.
They wouldn't put the scratchies on by accident.
No.
Like, there was obviously a detail on purpose.
This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to.
Yeah.
Get him. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something defense can and will reveal. What? No. You can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us, my learned friend. Unfortunately, I have no idea how you heard that phrase. I'm unable to present a name. How utterly underwhelming. Did you really believe you could? However, I am able to present evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity. What? Defense says what now?
Very well done, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence? Blah.
What? Okay. Oh, this one.
Yep.
Okay, okay, I present it like this, sorry. I don't actually know the controls for this game very well for some fucking reason.
What is that? The newspaper again. Raucous Igloo fraternities tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph.
Look at this photograph, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it closely, it's fucked up. You'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side, along with an adorable kitty cat.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Look at this kitty cat.
That cat is indeed adorable. The lines had also caught my eye.
Ha! What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably? From the branches of a tree or the like.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph...
Good gracious.
Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph, too.
Objection!
Well, that tells us nothing.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, from the branches of a tree. There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Council.
What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical.
If NSYNC, he'd be like, if you look right here, sitting on the bed.
Right here. Do you see these lines?
I want you to know that when my partner does this, they actually like get closer to me and like lean on my
Hi.
lean on my armrest
Mm-hmm.
and like get super close and pet.
So if you just place your hand here to trace the lines, my learned friend.
Lord Van Zeeks.
The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of a
Camera defect.
Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs. With the photographic device.
Now you get my struggle when you're like 4 people in the courtroom. And
No,
you're...
I'm totally losing my voice.
I'm sorry, baby. Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. And that the scratched lens may causes unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device. Unfortunately, this happened completely by accident. It just happened that Susato, the judge, and Aoshi were all you.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
I will be the
You're gonna be the
photographer.
photographer.
I'm gonna have to be.
But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one because it's not like anyone ever
not.
says in a newspaper, however. I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Aochi, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article. A newspaper. I don't read those. You need to get off Facebook.
Right.
That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime. Wah. Ah! It's gonna be a reporter. Oh, so Seki-san. God damn it. I see why you were called a raucous England returnee. What are you yelling about? You've already testified. It's many me mo, I tell you. Many me mo. Me mo.
Hello.
Many me mo. Hello. So Seki-san, are you having a seizure?
Are you okay?
Did you say mini memo? Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Daiten Many Memo.
Writing many memos.
Writing many memo. Oh. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk. Now that he mentions it.
RM.
RM.
Writing memo.
There we go. It's done.
God damn
damn
it.
it.
God fucking damn it.
They secretly spy, blah blah blah. Unnecessary flashback.
Hold on. Oh.
So he stole the poison and stabbed her, but like, what's the fountain pen thing?
The fountain pen is a way that he could
This doesn't incriminate him, but like.
Yeah, it's like he could inject poison with this.
Could that same reporter be?
Oh, on his sleeve.
Hmm? Oh, he's got the symbol. Okay.
Easy
We
peasy.
We did
Easy
it. We
peasy,
figured
easy
out the
game.
case.
We win.
God damn it. A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right.
And I'm here stuck in. Yeah, god damn it!
I am stuck in the middle with night and many memo.
He made the joke before we could.
Oh my god. So you're saying that this picture was taken by Many Memo, yes! My lord, your excellency, Esquire!
He's not a lawyer, he's not an esquire.
Officer. Find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
Thank God. We are
fucking-
3 hours into the stream and most of it
Jesus.
was us fucking around yet again.
Oh, yes, your excellency.
To be continued, please.
As you say, your excellency. And one more thing. I want this knife, you know, the one that we haven't
You know,
had
the
in
murder
evidence,
weapon
the murder
that we
weapon.
haven't been able to
Examine
examine.
for trace of poisons, but God forbid we let the defense examine.
Hey, judge. Hey, judge, objection.
Objection.
Hey, judge, objection.
Objection.
Hello? It is untraceable? It says that in the fucking article? Hello? Objection?
Just give us the fucking knife. You will solicit the assistance of the
Okay,
Imperial
that's fair.
University's medical department for the task. Understood?
There we go. Although they're gonna find no trace of poison on the knife,
No
and then
trace of poison.
because this way.
Motherfucker, because it's in the pen.
Yeah, it was there all the time.
Meh. Many memo. Bleh.
To be continued.
Yay!
Hooray! I love that Ryunosuke's first word in this whole thing was a flashback where he said, "What?"
That's so him. Oh my god, that's so him. Okay, I need to just sit here and gaze at all the pictures of Cosima.
Save. Oh, right. We probably would have gotten way further if we hadn't fucked around so much. We probably could have gotten through the whole case, but we didn't.
We didn't, because we like to fuck around.
But we did solve the case. We didn't
probably
get through
talked
the case.
about like U.S. law and spiders and all kinds of other bullshit for at least 45 minutes.
Honestly, so we for sure, yeah, we for sure like, we for sure figured out the case. That's one thing. So, we are going to raid this person. Sorry, I forgot to put the BRB screen up. Hello. Yeah, so we have probably another fucking 3 hours of this case. That we get to... Yeah, I know. We have another probably 3 hours of this case where we get to establish what we already know. So that's gonna be fun. That's going to be on... That's gonna be on Thursday. That's what day it is. We're gonna do Thursday, and then we are going to come back on Friday. And then, yeah, we just keep doing these Saturday streams, and so I'm probably definitely not gonna do a multiplayer stream, but I might, I don't know. We'll see what I do on Sunday, or like maybe sometime this week, like in the middle of the day, I'll just kind of like be on and streaming something. But yeah, go say hi to the version we are rating, and yeah, have a great one. We love you, Riddles. I hope you're having a good time, and I'm already starting to enjoy this new game.
Yeah.
I'm already enjoying
It's
it.
great. It's great.
We already have Susato and Drag. What
can
could
you
go
beat-
wrong? You cannot complain about that.
No, can't.
Right.
I will give up my Cosmo flashback case in exchange for this one.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, Wolfie. I always
Thank
love to
you.
see you. Bye.